came out on top. Wow, what a save. Oh, he's a no! Hello and welcome to the beautiful Barcelona circuit in Spain. You're on board with Neil Alexander here, Mullock, and excited tonight, back in the booth. Want to welcome to the commentary box tonight, welcome Patrick and Glenn. How are we, gentlemen?
Neil, absolutely excited and loving hearing your voice in the comms box one more time.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah,
Any day.
good to be here, Mullet.
How much do I have to owe you for that, Pat?
Oh,
Was that $10?
just one iced coffee.
No.
Deal.
Nah, sorry, can't do that one. Anyway, how are we? How'd we go last night?
Actually.
Yeah, good. Looking forward to tonight.
It was an interesting night last night, that's for sure. High octane.
High octane, I like it. I think, what is Zolder then? If last night was high octane, what was Zolder?
Well, for the Thursday night, look, it's pure ethanol, but, you know.
You're not wrong. Of course my phone goes off right now. Thank you for the messages. Just being trolled here. So what can we expect tonight based on last night's efforts? Wow, that is not how you start.
Well, there it is.
Thomas Riley, come on down
Riley.
to the fuck factory.
Oh, jeez. I want to go there.
Oh, yes.
Well, I think it should be interesting. Look, the weather has obviously prevailed by the looks of it, and let's just hope that, unlike Split Green, they can all make it to turn one facing the right way.
Fingers bloody crossed. Can you hear the game sounds on YouTube?
No.
On YouTube.
You guys shouldn't be able to because you haven't paid your subscription fee for sound.
Right.
You can.
There isn't one, but
There is just some game sound on.
beautiful.
It's really quiet.
So I'll do this.
Or is that a fan?
It's me. If you can hear that, I'll turn it off. It's hot and it's things you don't hear is it's hot in Tasmania at the moment.
It's hot here too, that's for sure.
Blistering 16 degrees.
Oof.
If you can hear my fan, tell me as well. I'll shut it off.
If you can hear me, I'm your fan. How's that sound?
This is becoming a love-in. Do you want me to leave the room, guys?
Nah, we need to be moderated.
We're all right. But is this Regan Herbert? Oh, well, there goes the fan out the door.
Yeah, sorry.
Fuck off.
It's going right. Back to the racing. So we're here at Imola in France.
Yes. It is a Tuesday night. It is wet.
These F3 cars look glorious.
And this is the final lap as it comes around the penultimate corner. And
It's a goal!
touchdown.
A touchdown in the third inning of extra time. Regan Herbert kicks things up for the 143.4.
That's a banker and a half.
It is a banker, as O'Hara goes 42.3 and being a really rude person.
Andrew, that's naughty.
That's an overly optimistic banker, isn't it? I mean,
You're not wrong.
It is a tenth faster than my best lap last night, so I'm already crying.
What was the fastest lap in qualifying last night? We saw 41, sure.
42.3
42.
in our split, something like that.
No doubt someone in chat will be able to... Oh, there's a car off on the wall there. Just sightseeing here at Circuit de Catalunya. You either love it or hate it. Most people don't like it because of the overtaking opportunities, but welcome to 75% of the tracks.
Yeah, it's funny that it's actually not terrible, I guess. It's just it's a hard balancing act of looking after your tyres for the stint and like making it safely, I guess.
Yeah. I saw quite a few decent suggestions to improve the circuit last night. I think everyone wants the last chicane removed, which is quite easily to do here because it's an alternative layout. Does anyone use the outer corner? Is it just motorbikes?
I think it's just MotoGP, right? Or did F1 get rid of it?
I don't think F1 got rid of it, but they did change the corner at the hairpin.
You know what we could do? One of the stewards just could be ready to clear penalties, and we could just use that outer track layout.
Could.
As Andrew O'Hara does Paul. What the?
He's ready to rock and roll here in the Ferrari. Might
Okay,
just...
Here's a fun game to play in chat.
Ooh.
How big do you think the
Ooh.
deficit between Andy and the second car will be?
It's a sad question.
0.8.
0.8. I'm going to say
Okay, I'll go
6
0.8.
tenths. I'm going to say 6 tenths. There's still quite a few drivers yet to set a lap. We'll go put the pressure on them now.
Philip has mentioned last night's quali 42-1.
There you go.
So
42-1.
I don't like what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, who's the car behind? It is... Haditz is behind. He's yet to set a lap, and he's behind Imey.
No.
Oh, I thought he made him. I thought he was actually moving out of the
he
way.
was letting him through.
Nope, just a little bit of a slip.
He's down. He's lost all of his time.
We might go away from this battle to take the pressure off.
Oh! Whoa! Did
Did
you
I-
see that?
Just as I moved over.
Just
You need
moved
to
away.
go to the replay.
Is it that bad? Was it worth
It was,
watching?
it was pretty funny. It was really abrupt. It was very abrupt.
I'll try and search for it soon. Connor Kingston in the Z Porsche. Very close battles here with the cars around him. He's going to
Just
go up
say
3
that-
tenths, 14th, 12th.
Good amount of pro-ams sprinkled in those top 10 to 12, even 13. So, which is good to see.
Nice little Salt Bay. Sprinkle
Me in.
Sprinkling of pro-ams. Splinkling.
Zispinkel.
Is this change German? I don't know. Sometimes it comes across very racist when an Australian tries to do another accent. Even though we're not trying to be.
Nah.
We're just lacking of talent. Little bit of left hand lock. Why do it snap oversteer? Alright.
Or he's just given up on the lap and gone straight left into the wall to go back to the pits.
That's one way to do it.
Hmm.
Looks like Harding has
Definitely.
now got a lap in.
Going to be an interesting one. There's a lot of fast cars in this split with Porsches and McLarens. So it'll be interesting to see what other manufacturers we can get amongst the party tonight.
looks like Andy might have put the cue in the rack and said, I've got enough. He's about the only one left in the pits.
I would like to bet my house that I don't own that he comes
But he's
back
coming
out
out
just
again.
to flex.
Yeah, he is now.
Well, I just want to
He's on
say
his way out.
there is no other driver on the hot lap leaderboard that has done a 41, a 1 minute 41 in that server. So I dare say he is not at risk whatsoever. He's probably just put full fuel in and gone to do practice laps for 3 minutes.
He's probably got wet tyres on backwards. So if you go on board with Andrew, you see the gaps there. 1.1 seconds separates himself from the next best, which is Matthew Lamb in the McLaren. Regan Herbert, Jean-Pierre Sonikas, Daniel O'Donnell and Kitching. So a couple of Bentleys, a couple of Porsches, top 7.
If you take out Andy, it's pretty close quality.
Yeah, maybe we DQ him. Andy at risk. I don't think he's at risk of his vertigo with how high he is up at the moment. What else can we check out? We've still got Dylan Tyquin yet to get a lap in, and looks like that won't happen.
No. Oh, that's a question that I just thought of. Any quali bans tonight?
Or maybe.
This split?
Let's
That could be that.
take a squizzle. I don't recall seeing a blue one. We do, but both drivers are no longer in the series, which is unfortunate.
That's one way to do it.
So, no qualifying bans tonight. We had a couple last night. What else do we want to say though is don't take the penalty points to heart. Don't take it personally. Like, it's there for a reason. You're going to make mistakes. No one's out there to ridicule you. Just cop it on the chin, serve your time, pay the fee, and we'll move on.
Like, at the end of the day, we are humans, and we are trying to simulate something from real life. So I guess it's just another point of immersion at the end of the day, almost.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone's been screaming for a little bit more accountability for picking up penalty points during the season, and this year we actually made it a bit more automated, so it's easier to track. But there's going to be quali bans, there's going to be race bans, there's going to be grid spot penalties. You see that in all motorsport. Just to add to that as well, after these splits tonight, I'm going to jump on Discord into one of the voice lobbies. We're going to dissect some of the races in a very friendly and open way. Again, not there to ridicule anyone, just to help you learn and improve. And kind of just break the ice a little bit when you do pick up penalties or make mistakes. Going to request some fluids from Andy for testing. How would you like to straight into the mouth?
Also, what fluids?
Yeah, thank you very much there for the donation, Mr. Dan Murphy, $20.
That's a legend.
We've got 20 drivers after Andy, all within a second.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
2 to 21.
That's more like it.
So what you're saying is, we're taking a blood test from Andy. Thank you very much, JC, with $20. I'm not allowed to talk about the emoji due to Discord rules.
You can't talk about frogs?
Oh, you said it. Now you have to do the punishment.
Pepe? What do we do? What is it? I don't understand.
Don't worry.
We love frogs out here.
Fucking Cornboy. I've been saying Jamie Conboy for like ever. Did I say it once? Did I say it in a certain accent? Did I say it in Tasmanian? Jamie Cornboy. That doesn't even sound Tasmanian. I don't even know what Tasmanian sounds like.
I think someone mentioned it in the 9 hour, right? And Bryce for the 20.
Bryce
the
with
frogs.
the 20.
Let's go.
20. There's $60 now. That's a lot of red frogs.
And Sven Blay goes P11 with a bit of an improvement. Have you got any big moves and shakers left out there?
Not really. I've only seen one little green one, and that's down in 16th, but that's 1/10. This one, potentially, a really good exit here. Maybe able to find another 10th or two. Won't. But still a great lap there from Regan. I can pull clips. Jeez, that was a billion years ago, JC.
JC doesn't hold on to anything.
No. When I was born and...
So there you have it. Less than a second on our leaderboard if you block out O'Hara up the top and just take out that 1 second.
Love to show you that. I'll go with that one, followed by that. It's an interesting camera angle here. Looks like the cars are hiding.
So, pretty good job there from Michael Young to sneak into the 7th position there for qualifying. And then a pretty tight pack from all the way down to Scanlon, I think. That's pretty good to see 2, 4, 6, 8 Pro-Ams all within that next 12 to 22nd position.
Oh, certainly is. Michael Young has the capabilities to be pro class for sure. They did win a endurance series race in round 2, but it just is obviously in the Honda, the car that they I think it was Zanfort we did the classifications on, lowered his class rating a little bit, but he keeps it up. He'll be bumped back up to pro.
So as I have a look at the split points, the standings for this split,
Is he leading?
we have Michael Young ahead by 7 points.
Give me a second. I'm just going to upgrade him to pro right now. You can listen to my keyboard and mouse. Welcome to pro class, Michael Young, as I hit enter.
For second position is Jean-Pierre Sonicus with 260 points, and Scott Blair with 253 points in third position. And then second in Pro-Am is Marcus Van Vley, followed by Ben McConnell, one of our broad drivers for the series, but does a great job producing and commentating the European splits. And then for the AM class, we have Neil Wood, 23rd in the standings, followed by Phil Vernon, 33 points in 32nd position. Wow, numbers are hard. And then Nick Miller with 27 points in 35th position. So, you know, good to see everyone still giving it their best.
Thank you very much, Janice, for the $20, and also Linton Wills with the $30.99. Much love to you guys. And also, just in chat, Eamon Tully is saying that Rodder, that is a good pickup. So Nick Rodder, P14, he's making his Sprint Series debut, moving up from the rookies. What a start to his sprint career. Would have been, would have bang. So I'm glad I put him as Pro-Am, not an AM. What a master stroke that was. Save me change for next week.
Had many a good battle with Nick with the rookie practice races over the 4 weekends that we've had so far.
Dan Murphy with the 31. What is going on? What is happening?
Is this the 5th round? 4th round?
4th round.
Okay.
Thank you, Dan. Now, Keith.
Yeah, that's a very interesting donation, Linton, but we appreciate it.
Dan Murphy's beaten it by a cent. Maybe Andy O'Hara can put a donation in because he'll just exceed everything. Has to be on top.
This must be a proud dad moment for people like Cam and Sean, seeing their younglings be promoted to the big leagues.
Never started betting all with Murph. Also, big thanks to Murph, who's been our sponsor this week for our TeamSpeak server. You absolute legend.
Benjamin throws
What is
out
going
32.
on?
We've got another.
You know, it's all coming up Millhouse.
Oh,
And
smile
before we
on
get
the
stuck
face.
into this first race tonight, everyone be sure to leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe if you haven't already.
I'm gonna test
It really
the
helps
button.
out the channel. And it's
Does this
just one
work?
click away.
Oh, I pressed the wrong one. Fuck.
Test. Test.
It's first time for everything. Not. Alright, press the other one.
Okay, as the safety car has pulled away and we are around the penultimate corner being led by Andrew O'Hara and Matthew Lamb.
Over to you then, Patrick. You got this one?
Yep, I'll just rip the band-aid off nice and early. So, yes, 2x2, 30 to 40 cars. I can't actually remember, but pretty good turnout here for Split Blue.
35.
As we go green, and everyone seems like they have stayed 2x2 most of the way down, maybe 3 wide towards the middle there, as everyone's looking for some air and looking to get their brake markers. Andrew O'Hara is getting swamped on the outside by 2 different cars, but pulls in and defends, and it's over. Joking. 2x2 coming up through the second corner and go to one of the longest, most forceful corners in motorsports, I think. That's a statistic of some description.
I like
As
it.
we come towards turn 4, 2x2, still trying to find some space. That looks like Michael Young on the outside of Jean-Pierre Sinakis as we come down towards one of the more difficult braking zones early on. Still 2x2 as O'Donnell looks up the inside of Michael Young. Now this is the part of the track that you really want to try to get single file and get a nice run up towards 6, 7 and 8. as O'Donnell gets a little bit at the back of the rear of that Honda for Michael Young. Still 2x2. He's probably going to get swamped here from Ashland, sorry. And that's halfway done this first lap as he gets a nice run out of there. Don't think he's going to be able to get beaten under the brakes by a Lamborghini, but does a good job of defending his outside as he has his Porsche friend right in his tailpipe, and that is Sadness Street. Holy car park, that was like a reenactment of the video. Oh dear. Is that S. Car at the back?
Wait. Did people actually stop?
Oh, never mind. After the line. Wow. And it's still happening. Jiminy Jillick is Batman. Well, look, they delivered last week and they are still delivering. Wow. Just wow. He's already dead.
I was thinking exactly the same thing.
Oh no. So, that's interesting. Hopefully the stewards will be keeping an eye on those people that have dove into the pits, I assume for damage. Daniel O'Donnell's gotten a little bit unlucky again this week, but still 50 minutes to go, and wow.
Well then, I'm glad I didn't call that start.
I'm 2 for 2 with race starts and death at Spain. It was pro finals last year.
Yep.
Last season. Now here we go. As we jump back into the replay, O'Hara got a nice. Oh, never mind.
No, son of a- top right. Always look top right. Always look
the
top
safety
right.
car there. Oh wow. Started off so strong. They got through, I'd say, the trickiest part of this track nice and early. And then it all went downhill from there.
So it's basically everyone from Dan O'Donnell down has had some sort of interaction.
Walk us through this, Glenn.
Just trying to see who was coming up behind Dan, trying to go 3 wide or 2 wide into that hairpin, and
Oh my lord! I've just witnessed something that I didn't want to witness.
That Bentley just consensually went straight through that Lamborghini. Is that Scott
to be
Blair?
fair, there were a few guys did pull up. Trying to find the positives.
I think there might have been a little bit of a send there, Nick.
Nick, you do have to brake for that hairpin. Should be braking there. Oh god.
Yeah,
Wow.
he
Oh,
just wouldn't pull up.
Okay.
That's that's something that you learn, I think. You've learnt that nice and quick, haven't you?
Yeah, 6 or 7 wide into theirs
Oh,
goes okay.
Both Bentleys. Oh, deja vu.
Ouch.
I'm impressed.
Girls there.
Those 8 drivers at the back that stopped. I was impressed
Yep.
with that. I think, are they going to do another lap here?
No, I think we're coming
No?
in. I think they're coming
Okay.
in.
Well, Andrew O'Hara
Okay.
leads us to the green one more time. As I don't know what's happening in the background there, but they can't pass before that line, so I dare say there's going to be some penalties given out there for a bit of. What's
Back
happening?
marker?
I'm so confused.
Oh, wow.
Oh, 4 wide
no.
one more time. Daft Punk, who this? As that Lexus absolutely deletes that Porsche, and I dare say, I'm not going to say anything yet. Oh, there's so much sadness happening on our screens. Ladies and gentlemen, look away if you like motor cars. Motor cars? Well, car 667 is moving one more time. Whew. So,
Today was a bad day to quit smoking.
So, Mel, you were going to have a nice chat after the race.
Yeah, looks like I'm
you
being
have
happy.
a little bit to talk about, maybe.
that's 3 for 3 green flags from me here. Oh no, there's so much to digest. Take it easy on the first lap. Drive straight, brake early. That is a sad Porsche right there. Whew. I can hear that keyboard. It's going to be some... That might be a paddling from someone.
No, I don't message. See, every time you hear me smashing my keyboard, I'm not smashing it out of anger. I'm just making sure that things are sorted in the steward's office. Because sometimes there's things that I see that they might not.
I thought it was your head banging against it, actually.
No, you'd not. Did you hear that fan before that I threw out of the room? That wasn't the fan. Preemptively. It was... Poor Maxi. Poor Maxi.
Oh no! Do we know the record for sprint rounds safety cars? Have we seen more than 2?
No.
Apart from Zolder.
We haven't seen more than 2 ever, except last week when we set a record for red. And Split Blue pretty much going, hold my beer.
Well, as a member of Split Green, it's good to see the stigma being taken away from us. It's Thursday night. It's absolutely taking the torch. You'd be sad to be missing out on this this night of racing, that's for sure.
I might just actually watch that back, because I don't know if there was a car that was either out of position, a lap down, or...
Yeah, I don't know.
But they bunched up a group of them and they went into turn 1, 3, or 4 wide, which never works well.
Yeah, there was a Bentley out of the last corner that seemed to get a really bad run or something. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, pulled to the right as we were looking at it and was just crawling down the outside of the track.
Looks like it's Reagan. Don't know if he gets caught out a little bit here. They're away, and a little bit of a jump there from
Why
the
isn't he
Lamborghini.
accelerating?
His car's off.
No. His car's not off.
What was he modulating the throttle?
Third.
Maybe he was overthinking all of the rules. Or his throttle pedals.
No, there's
Carpet.
definitely some technical issue there.
Mm,
Now it's fixed, like he couldn't upshift. Perhaps.
that was very strange. But I think that has also added to all of the confusion behind him.
Yes, that's what I noticed. But
Yeah. But I think that Lexus at the bottom of our screen has caused
Yep.
most of that. Yeah.
you're better off there if you're Lexus. If you know they're already 2 or 3 wide, just
Yeah,
back
but-
off the throttle, get on the brakes a little bit earlier, and just tuck in, because you're asking a lot of people. But yeah.
It's a 60-minute race. I know it turns into a 40 and then a 30-minute race after these safety cars, but still, it's a long race. You get good points from finishing in that top 15 or 20, so take your time to get your tyres up to pressure, because this place absolutely kills them, and I dare say with this second safety car, it's probably playing a part in some people's strategies.
Yeah, so I hope that the cars that did pass Regan there won't have penalty applied for overtaking, because circumstances surrounding that were out of their control. And if they were all to wait for Regan, you can only imagine how many more cars would have been involved then. All right, here we go. Ready to go. O'Hara pushes away. Oh,
And
this
number
reminds me of
3.
Magello.
That's a
F1.
Sean Madison reincarnation right there. Am I right? Am I right?
I think he did it a bit earlier. Poor Sean. PTSD there for Sean.
This is what we need the first time around. Let's just blame Andy for that first time. As Henderson seems like he's had a little bit of trouble on the brakes there, and we're already 2 wide here with Bugden and no, that's not Herbert. That's Rodder. So Rodder has absolutely won out somehow out of all that kerfuffle at the start, and he's all the way up in P10.
10.
So great start there. Hopefully we can see some stuff as Green around the outside of turn 4 versus Harding there. Both doing a nice job. Now this is the part of the track where you need to either pull out or make sure you're in front, because you lose so much time being side by side with someone. See, Greeny's done the right thing there. Hopefully the Nissan agrees too. Yep. It's just not worth it being aggressive up that part of the track.
Where did Greeny start? I swear he was like lower 20s.
15th,
Oh, was he a
20
bit higher?
maybe? He was within that 22nd to 12th range of all of those pro-ams, I'm pretty sure.
It's 30th.
There you go. I thought it was... Oh, no! That's a bit of a smack.
That's some more sadness there. Fellow commentator Preach is getting a bit of throwing around here so far.
Oh, doesn't make it work.
There.
Yeah, nah, Racing couldn't get any more Australian that name.
As O'Hara's first full lap is a 45.1. That's basically a standing start from the line.
Rude, isn't it?
That's upsetting.
Tyquin, who I believe started dead last. He's up to 25th.
As we have someone pulling into the pits to do their stop. See, 2 wide. Now we saw what happened last time.
There's
Is
a
this
crash
a
up
two-van
ahead.
tango?
There's a crash up ahead.
Ooh, that is also some sadness. 2 cars off there. No idea.
We'll suss that out in a second. We'll stay on board with this battle. So 19. Didn't see the other car, but I'll find it in a second. Let's go up the front. This race is pretty sad so far. Ben McConnell, 14th.
As he's at that Bentley in the background. Very late on their brakes too, but who's that up ahead? That's Piper.
Nice move.
He paid that Pied Piper and he got. So
Reggie's made it up from 20th to 12th, so he's managed to avoid most of the carnage.
that Bentley behind is getting very close. That's Severus.
Yes.
So you see a replay of this turn 1 kerfuffle. Just got to be careful of that toe. That McLaren is oddly fast in this track, and that's just it's a lack of judgment and
Just sloppy incident, really.
yeah.
Like just
Yeah,
it's the type of stuff that just shouldn't happen.
so avoidable.
It happens though. But yeah, you just gotta be a bit more careful. Oh,
As who's that in the background? Van Valet on
Ben
Riley.
Riley.
Also been a bit of a mover and shaker since the start. He's going to then very shallow. Might help up the hill though. It's all right. See, something that I've learnt from watching a bit of racing this past week is that when you are going side by side into that first turn, you got to really make sure you're almost at the same angle. Oh, Azrag, you goes a bit deep there. You got to be right on their door, or there's usually going to be a bigger loser up through the next 3 turns. Don't want to be too shallow because you'd be so slow on that exit.
That's it. Oh, last week at Zolder, a couple of very interesting scenarios that presented themselves in the end of race 1. Car disappeared off the grid, and just as they were coming around the second or third last corner, it appeared back in front of them, and bang, contact.
Yeah,
Just-
that was O'Donnell.
It was,
If I
and
remember
Harding, I think it was Harding. No, it was the Nissan.
Piper.
It was the Nissan and Piper.
Yeah, it was
Just
very strange.
netcode things. You hate to see it, but it's something that just comes up. Van Vliet and Riley going at it. What are your thoughts on white wheels? Whoa!
Bentley.
Jeez.
Still whipping the car around there.
I think it depends on the rest of the car. It's not terrible there in that scenario, but it's got to kind of match.
Yep.
It's the fastest a Porsche's ever gone down a straight, and he pulls out of the toe and loses all of that. Oh, that
Try the
confused me. See,
outside.
Riley's so shallow one more time, and he's probably going to get swamped by this Mercedes as well. Oh, that's so tight. Put that on the list of things I didn't think I'd say tonight. As Harritz is probably thinking about this next corner. Who's the last of the latest breakers? That's not the right word. Wait, am I okay?
Last of the late breakers.
That one.
It's okay.
You're very, 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 very close.
I had all the words, though, just in the wrong order.
I think it still counts.
I had a Monster Energy, so I'm on another level.
I've been had an energy drink for years.
Oh, that Lamborghini of Kitching, right on the back of Sonicus there. Have a nice little battle here, actually, from P2 all the way to P6, I think that's Henderson. So, Young up from P7 on the start. He's probably loving life.
Like Heels and Handbag got a match. Yeah, I like that. I think white, silver, grey rims work a lot easier.
Bronze.
Bronze. Bronze is actually a pretty good shout. As
I
they
learned from Philippa.
try and break the slip. But if we're talking red wheels or yellow wheels or green wheels, look, I think you need to rethink your life choices.
I think this split might be one of those splits that doesn't have an absolute eyesore, like split green. Sorry about that, Audi. I didn't have to bring it up. I watched the stream back before, and disgust from all of the commentators. I just had to bring it up.
Orange is questionable because you can probably go down the bronze path depending on the coating. But if it's bright orange, then you're probably... Oh, orange is my favourite colour though, so I'm pretty biased in that.
Is there a pro Lamborghini team that has that orange, green and black? Don't they have orange wheels?
Yes. Pink is a big fat no, Clinton. And Chesley, Flora yellow wheels is a huge big F. To be honest, I don't really care what your car looks like as long as you just show good race etiquette.
But secretly you care.
But secretly I care because secretly, I didn't know Braden Ross. Is he an interior designer or something? Because he takes it very personally.
Oh yeah, at Zolder we found out that he is actually now he is the captain of the livery police. So
yes,
if he sees your livery, just be aware that he will judge you very harshly too. He doesn't give up.
A rule book a mile long.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's a question. Commentators, what's your favourite team name from this split? I know it's like picking a favourite ice cream, but we all know the best one.
I'm scared to look at them now.
There's two questions there.
Oh, Bugden looks on the outside here of our debutant Rodder. Oh, that's happened so many times so far this round. Car's just overslowing, having to tuck in behind and get caught out a lot. And it looks like Bugden's going to lose a position here to Piper.
So that's one of those... that's one of the things that I was talking about. If you're too shallow into that corner, then your exit is going to be way slower than if you were right on the door of the car that you were side by side with. So
yeah, exactly.
That's what we were talking about.
All right, let's look at livery names. Reline Robin Racing. You probably tell by my reactions if I like it.
Boomer status.
Boomer status. Lexus Gang. Oh, Matthew Lamb's livery. That's got a lot of thought into it. That is great. Kovacs we like. Bottler. That's changed, I think, this week from Kitching. I'm trying. You're moving up to pro. That's what you are. Lost but never forgotten. Blair. If you know, you know. DCTH. Don't want to know what that means. Pretty bad things. Miles behind. Oh, Shad Slow. I like that. Spoon Motorsports. Mobile Racing. Bugged Motorsports. Rag Nation. Porsche Merchants. Team Cryptos. That's John Spears. Another DCTH team. 207. Is there something meant to be coming up here, Cam? Triggered Racing. I like that. Dark Star. Yeah, nah. I like that. Very Australian.
That's good.
Very Australian. I swear I saw on Discord that he couldn't get his PC working tonight, but it's great to see you out there, Stewie, and in the top 20.
I think that wild weather in Queensland hasn't been helping.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a monstrosity.
Okay. That looks like super duper blue.
This is disgusting. Okay, this is the funniest part of this scenario I'm about to show you. Is I'm learning how to use the keyboard. is this livery is self-picked. Like, you're stuck with it. But you fucked it up even more by adding those! Just when you couldn't get any dumber. You totally redeemed us. Is that the quote from Dumb and Dumber? Either way, I'm not a fan of those blue. I'm not a fan of those blue.
Andre, there you go.
Love the rims. Diabolos, get out.
Oh, that's almost a boop in the snoot.
Oh, I think Stewie's had a... Hang on.
Yep,
I think he beat 20s first, and then... What?
They had an incident turn 1, so I dare say the timesheet hasn't updated.
Okay.
Drive through for a collision in lap 1. That's car 137.
Stibson Racing. There's a lot of Porsche merchants. Waterboy. Blokes on Blokes. Look, a lot of people like this name.
That's good. I like it. I'm a fan.
M&L Projects. Venom. I don't know, Simon. You're going Venom, but you're Spider-Man. Like, you really... Yes. You haven't got your own memo there, champion.
Reverse psychology.
Oh, that's the memo, and that is dead.
Oh, wowza. That is not how you put shoes on caterpillars.
What is with the Bentleys tonight? They're out there
on the
blood.
Straight. On the straight. I think we're going to have to report back to the factory about the braking ability of these Bentleys tonight. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Is that a reverse Mitchell Rindich?
There is an eyesore in this split. David, you take the cake.
The winner.
That
the Messiah.
Like a cake.
Of all belly flop whackers. That hurts.
There you go.
Is something. That is a... That
tickles the eyeballs. Even he's trying not to look at the car while he's driving.
Oh, as he picks up a 10-second penalty too, so
just getting
that's what
sad.
you get for looking at that livery. Kitty, that's dead right.
Look, you're not wrong there. Only 8. It starts off pretty normal, and it really does kick off. We'll try and find that incident that just happened.
There's racing going on here apparently tonight.
So last night, how was the undercut compared to the overcut? Was there much of an advantage or not?
Undercut.
It's the undercut when you go in before the people in front of you.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, it works quite well for me, I must admit. Last night I got 2 spots, thanks to there possibly being an incident in pit lane, but that didn't have to be told.
Yeah,
but
undercut was strong last night.
Definitely.
There's the, I think the Raleigh Duong Sanjoto battle was going on. There was quite a bit of chopping and changing around based on the undercut in that race. So it'd be interesting to see who pulls the trigger first.
So I'll try my best to explain some of this to you, Kamuka Kitty, and anyone in chat who might have had a similar question. So with everyone having to do a pit stop of the same length, basically, you lose traffic on you lose time on track from driving behind traffic because you're not doing your best stuff in the free air. So as a strategy, you try to go into the pits before the person in front, come out on the track by yourself or in cleaner air to then do faster lap times than these people that are driving behind traffic, thus getting more, like, closing the gap or taking over that person that hasn't done their mandatory stop yet. So to defend that, usually the person in front of you, if they're paying attention, would then go in the next lap to prevent any sort of change in position on track. That is if you have the same lap time as well, or like same pit time. I think he's about 60, no, was it 60 something seconds here? That can't be right. 68 pit delta with a 30-second stop.
Around
I can't remember what Ahara said yesterday. Okay,
but I think that's how it works. But yes, as there's a big side effect of this track, and it is high tyre wear, especially for those rears. They drop off after about 20 to 25 minutes, so you know that is where it all comes in. I think 50-50 is usually quite a good strat around here. Bender strat not too strong, as we have Taekwon the inside of Rodder.
Looks like something's happened to Rodder. He's dropped down from 10th to 21st. He's got a bit of damage as well. This is replay. Just unsighted by the looks of this. I don't think Dale Lawson's done anything wrong there. We've just moved across him. Paid his own penalty.
Oofed. That's a solid hit there too. Yeah, it's just, you got to be aware that you've got the person, first of all, and your relative, and you've probably seen them in your mirrors, so that's one thing that you got to do on those straights. You got to check both mirrors as you're coming up to the braking zones always.
So apparently there's been an ACC update just dropped. I'm just trying to suss out if that contains updates to the server, because if it does and you've just updated and haven't joined for tonight's race, you won't be able to join. So sit pretty whilst I discover some more information.
Well, I'm happy to take the reins while you do all that computer science.
Both the red and blue share the same server, so I can't update the server until this race is finished. So
okay,
fun times for Fire owners.
O'Donnell. Yeah, so as part of that racing pack there, O'Donnell's probably thought, I'm losing time behind this car. I can get in, I can get my fuel and my tyres, and I can get out and do some laps by myself at the pace that I know I can do to try and gain some positions on track.
Yep. So when we look at positions 2, 3, 4 and 5, who are all sitting around about between 0.8 and 1.5 seconds between each other, there's potential there for somebody to pull the pin. Like Kitching's currently 0.8 behind Sonicus, so potentially there's a gain to be made there if he happens to come in earlier.
Yeah, it's definitely not the easiest. It's not the easiest part of racing to get your head around, that's for sure. And that there's no one strategy fits all either. So you have to just kind of play it by ear in your race. If you can feel your tyres wearing off towards this middle part of the track, you gauge a few things as that Audi thinks better. You gauge how far off your normal race pace are your laps currently. How big of a gap is me driving closely to this car in front or behind, creating in front of me, which basically gets rid of the potential to gain more positions on track as you are. And if you have damage and things like that, and it's very hard. So a good suggestion is in the middle of your race you start to think about those things. I know a lot of rookies at this stage of their season are probably starting to get a grasp of that, but it's kind of important when you get to these hour races and then into the bigger stuff like even our endurance series, which are 3 hours, and then the longer stuff. So it's a bit simpler than right pedal go brr, left pedal go skrr.
If your pedals make those noises, you've probably got more issues.
Oh no.
Need some lubrication, I think. I had two sound boards, or two sounds for the first safety car, but I just realised you couldn't hear it on comms. So it was a joke wasted.
Well, I can watch the stream back and go, hey,
that's funny.
There's that thing.
Dear.
A reminder there from Jan in chat to make sure we click like so that Max can be fed. So if you haven't already clicked it, jump in there.
No, he's not being fed this week. Hasn't earned his food.
Come on.
Okay.
RSPCA.
Twisted my arm.
Hello.
Mate, that's the most spoiled dog on the planet.
So, as you can see from maybe a bit of behaviour out of this Audi, those rear tyres are probably towards the end of their optimal life. Even though they should last about an hour in the longer stuff in this race with this format and the pit stop mandatory requirements, you start to pick up these little things, and I dare say most of these people will be starting to think about that strategy.
What donation is required for you to give Max a hug right now? Any donation over the cost of an iced coffee.
Where are we up to? $32.01 or something?
Max is the true master of the house. That is 100% right.
Max actually runs our servers, if you didn't know.
Max only... Max only exists because of OOR? No. OOR only exists because of Max. You should see his thumb work is amazing.
Mullock is a stage name. The name is actually Max.
He's a good boy. RSPCA is watching.
We all live in Max's world.
We do.
So who's going to pull the pin out of these second to sixth drivers? And even in this little battle pack here.
I'm a bit surprised that somebody hasn't done so,
There's a chance.
to be honest.
There's a chance.
It's close.
Got to make sure you're enough head there, and they've done well. Kept his grill out of his exhaust there. Yeah, geez, that McLaren.
Stimson's probably it's worth pitting. It's worth pitting well and truly now for Stimson. He's being held up here by the McLaren. This is where we're talking about a great chance for an undercut. Get a great stop in, get those fresh tyres, hopefully a little bit of clean air.
Herbert was the
Herbert's
first
in.
one in out of those six, so as
Harris.
Stimson is sending it up the inside.
Very patient. Another thing to watch is how many laps it took to set that up.
So you'd be losing time trying to make all those half moves behind Ferguson, as Reynolds is right on the back of Ferguson once more. But yeah, it's as part of the tough game that we play, as Shane Claus gets a 15-second penalty for a collision. Lap 6. Yeah, it's tough. I agree.
Deciding when to go in? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Because
it's all about that air in front of you.
Especially
all about the
here,
air in front of you.
If you go in too early, your tyres are going to be screaming.
Is Kitching coming in?
Okay.
Oh,
Kitching's
wow.
in.
That was a weird set of us.
There was a lot. So I dare say Ferguson might have been slowing up for the yellow there, and
Yeah, you got to be.
that's scary.
That's tough. Could have ended a lot worse. I'll have to look back in that.
Yeah, it's a full speed corner, so gotta make sure everyone's seen that flag. And thankfully, no one race got ruined by the looks of it, except maybe our main man Tom Riley.
I did a race here. Oh, he's coming in now, so that's probably a good decision. So is half the grid. I did a race here where a car came back across the track and took me out for lap 1. I think they mentioned that race last night. But anyway, I had to pit for damage and did 55 minutes on one set of tyres. It's obviously possible to do, but after 20-25 minutes, the tyres aren't going to be at an optimum level. And it was boring just racing at the back by itself. But it is possible to get the tyres there to the end.
Not sure,
And here are the safety
if
cars.
that is part of ACC. Your tyres don't overheat in the toe as much because of the cooling of the cars, I would say.
It's to do with your brakes, more so than anything.
Yeah.
If your brake temperatures are exceeding, or you're on the brakes a little bit heavier than you normally used to because you've got cars in front of you, you overheat the tyres a little bit quicker, and obviously it's how you steer If you're scrubbing the tyres every corner, you're going to wear them out a lot faster.
But
Lambs
yeah. Okay, so it is all kicking
Young's
off
in.
here. Within 2 laps, I think almost everyone is in.
Oh, wicked.
Are there
Mouse
any
is
David
dead.
McNultys out there tonight?
So Young's in. I'll
Yep.
try and find a car to watch because my mouse just died. Da, 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 da.
Positions 1 and 2 are still out. O'Hara and Sonicus.
So it'll be interesting to see how Lamb,
We'll say
who I
Lamb.
think went in P2, will come out
And-
when Sonicus comes into the pits.
And Kitching came in a lap before all of them.
Yep,
So
and Herbert as well.
yeah,
Fuck.
If you pit lap 1, you will also carry way more fuel and affect the tyres more. Yeah. Obviously, probably not the thing you would do. But, yeah, I see where you're going, Diabols. I hate how you delete those messages. It makes it extremely
this is
difficult.
tight.
So, who's this? That is
This is
Kitching.
Kitching coming down. Yep.
That's
So
close.
you might have got a position there on Young.
It's alive! Mouse that is. There we go.
But refueling is allowed, Diabols, yes, so there's really no need, and I think it would be a very drastic situation to be pitting lap 1. I think some of us have all been there. So yes, Sonicus, O'Hara in. It'll be interesting to see where these 3 join the front of the field again.
Found the issue that Ferguson had. It wasn't the car ahead, he actually made a mistake. Just saved the car and Reynolds comes flying through. I think we can see
O'Reilly was all the way down over there. So there's a lot going on there, that's for sure. Oh, that is a tank slapper if I've ever seen it. Kept himself out of the wall though. And they're moving and they are out.
JP's just coming out ahead of these guys. Yep.
Sees them off. If you are racing an AP Red, you can update your game. You will be able to connect to the server. Can confirm. Go for gold. Don't have to though.
So another thing with the strategy, if anyone is watching these 2 cars in the lead currently, there's also a bit of like there is a downside to leaving it too late, I guess you could say.
Oh, definitely, because the advantage of the tyres, you're not actually going to use enough of them.
So your tyres are way past their optimal operating wear stage, and I don't know, it's just versus getting on some new tyres and doing the laps that you can, there's, unless you are a madman and put enough fuel in for a 50-minute stint, I think I don't know, there's lots of variables there. That's the tough part about it all as well. Fuel and tyre wear and damage and traffic and what's happening.
Well, that's the thing with fuel. You don't want to over fuel and have to carry extra than you need to. It's, oh, geez whiz, Stan.
Whoa.
I think you've just pooped a nugget there, because that was a fair bit of saving, because I've just pooped one. If you don't want to over fuel, because you're just carrying fuel you don't need to. And extra weight is slower times. But you don't want to take too much less fuel to really limit the type of changes you could make if you want to go short, if you want to go long, if you want to run 50% of the race. So just taking 20 litres and going for 5 minutes, that's your option, and that's your only option. You can't go long if you want to. So I, rule of thumb, like to take 60% of my fuel at the start and then go from there.
And really, like, there's not a lot of pace difference between having that extra 15 to 20 litres usually either. So it gives you that option, and then to add to that, if you weren't to have to add tyres, your stop would be shorter. But there's the rules as Taekwon comes out of the pits.
And that is
oh my god!
Smack, crackle, pop there.
That rejoin was almost going on the list of Lontel's L of the week.
I think Dan was paying attention to the wrong thing and just got a bit spooked by that car coming out of the pits.
Yep, you just have to be super safe in that situation.
I don't think that was a consensual smack on the bum, is all I'm saying.
Boop on the snoot. But that's
you've been quite tame with that call tonight, Pat.
Yeah. I think I used it once in at the start of the race, but it's just, I don't know, there's a lot going on there. Your eyes go off where you're wanting to put the car, and you start looking at the car coming out of the pits. And because that car is on such newer tyres, you probably have a good pace advantage for at least a lap. So it's best to just take caution.
Question for everybody. What do you prefer, rice bubbles or Cocoa Pops?
I'm going to have to say rice bubbles, because as a kid, I never got allowed Cocoa Pops. Not that there's a major difference, but I think, yeah, I have to go with rice bubbles. They're also very, you can use them for lots of things too. My grandma used to make like rice bubble slice and stuff like that, so good memories there. Oh.
That was the replay there.
Yep.
It's got to be Cocoa Pops, surely. What about you, Glenn? Which one do you pick?
I'm a rice bubbles kid.
Oh, no one's perfect.
My grandparents used to eat them with apple juice.
Choc crackles. Oh. Sean knows where it's at. That's what my mum used to make.
Crackles, yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I remember those.
What did I just say, you maniac?
There's been a couple of guys made some good gains today. Harding, it's started 18th and is up to 7th. It's a really good effort. And our mate Raggy started 20th. He's sitting in 9th now. He'll be happy. Dan O'Donnell's fought back to up to 13th. He was way down about 27, 28 after the debacle at the start.
I think Herbert might be having some more technical difficulties as they are back in the pits for a second time, so
that's unfortunate for young Reagan.
That sucks to see. Rice Krispies. Now, I don't think we have them in Australia. I've heard of like Rice Krispie treats.
Pretty sure we do.
Do we?
Yeah.
It sounds like
they're a treat. They're a treat, aren't they, rather than a cereal?
Now, is there a difference between LCMs and rice bubbles?
I think that's similar to the Krispies. I think that's what he's talking about. Could be wrong.
It's too
rice bubbles with Milo.
No. Did you? That a car disappeared from in front of these two cars on that lap?
Probably.
Did you see that?
I'm just trying to ignore everything now. I don't know what's happening.
So on lap 818, Michael Young has got a penalty. That is a long race, Michael.
That's a big bit of preemptive.
Bad boy.
Shit. I have questions. What?
There's so much going on right now.
Endurance series.
Just planning ahead, eh?
He's had too many. He's had too many Cocoa Pops, and he went snap and crackle.
Sorry, Ken.
Hopefully, chat saw that.
Well, overall, we can say that this race has been a huge, big success compared to Zolder. But we do have Split Red coming up, and they're very much a hold my beer type of split. Whatever you can do, we can do 400 times worse. Nah, I'll take that back. 300 times. And there's Siciliano picking up a 15-second. Yeah, unfortunately, Split Red just had one of those rounds last week where you zig or zag and you're going to end up in the fence or into another car with 3 safety cars in a 30-minute race. My hats are off to you guys.
Goes to show how fast that Honda is. Michael Young, he's done 790 odd laps more than everyone else.
Just don't know why he's 5th then.
I think ACC is just, the timing screen is a bit broken.
Alright, here's a question for everyone out there. You're only allowed to answer once and you only give one answer. What was the cereal that you used to eat growing up? If you didn't eat cereal, don't reply. Special K?
Or wait,
Isn't it for someone
was either Special K or Sultana brand?
Mine was Sultana brand.
Cornflakes.
Cornflakes.
Special
Pretty
K.
boring.
That's a good one, Special K.
Isn't that what you want to... No, that's all brand.
No, that's what you get from having ketamine. But
Yes.
no, Special K is it's like an interesting but really good cereal.
Sultana brand for me. Used to eat that religiously. I couldn't touch it now. Rice Krispies Bubbles. We've got Fruit Loops. Big Fritz shout out there for Fruit Loops.
I couldn't
Frosties
tell
and
you the last
Weet-Bix.
time I had cereal.
If you're a Weet-Bix eater, are you a Weet-Bix eater if you don't disclose how many Weet-Bix you eat? The answer is no. You must disclose how many Weet-Bix you have.
Warmed up. Diebol says Weet-Bix crushed up, warmed up, and brown sugar. Why
must
don't you
just
just
have
have
porridge.
like porridge?
Diabols with doing it the hard
Or
way.
baby food. Let's just have baby food. It's the same thing.
Never could stomach Weet-Bix. It's just dried cardboard.
Porridge is good also. I used to have that on like weekends. With like a bit of honey on it. Yeah.
My dad used to always go on about how many Weet-Bix he had. I think he used to have like 12 or something silly when he used to play football.
Just put milk in the box.
Mine was 9, but with banana and sugar. It was alright. 20 Weet-Bix with some good concrete. I want to watch this, Esty. I think you're talking schmackos.
Some of the funniest content is when people try to eat a Weet-Bix dry.
Yes. That's not great. Who has cereal before their sim races? Okay, here, let's speculate. What do you reckon? What cereal do you reckon Andrew O'Hara has?
Methamphetamine.
What did you say? I missed that. Your response was too quick there, Pat.
Someone has to share that with Andrew.
We've lost Pat. Well done, Glenn.
Sorry about that.
We've finally done it.
That was so out of the blue. I'm sorry.
Andrew, we can't prove. Did you say methamphetamines?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I thought you said, but Pat started laughing quicker. Nah, that's for breakfast and lunch and dinner. But yeah, don't do drugs, kid. If you do, you're going to be P1 here at Barcelona race 1. Anyway, no.
Doing a bit of the glass barbecue you can't fix. Sorry, that's a joke, everyone. Drugs are bad. Drugs are bad.
Don't think
Can't
Andrew
confirm.
would actually get access to that. He pretty actually he's on a
Well,
farm.
what do you
Cameron.
mean?
Actually, he's on a farm. Maybe he grows
They
it.
got farms out there. Can you? I don't think you can grow it. I don't
I was
think
talking
it's
about
something
poppies.
to grow. Oh.
Definitely can
Yeah.
grow poppies with some opiates.
Woo. That was thanks for that, Glenn.
Jeez.
No, that's alright. Glad I gave you a laugh.
Sorry it had to cover the cost of Andrew, but you know.
So he's got 19 seconds on JP. He's looking pretty comfy.
I'm crying.
You're crying.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm crying.
that's exactly what I needed tonight, Glenn.
I don't think we can get past that. But let's go back to something a little. What's your? No, I won't say that. Yeah. Cereal, hey. Okay, if you don't eat cereal, if you're a bit of a toast fan, what do you normally have on your toast?
Oh, it's got to be.
Now, I'm happy to ban people for some answers here.
It's either got to be Vegemite, thick
Good
and to the
shout.
coast to coast, or crunchy peanut butter.
I'm going to say Vegemite.
Vegemite. Yep.
Vegemite for the win. Not much of a jam fan.
Or peanut butter, crunchy peanut butter with like strawberry jam on top of it. A bit of PB&J. That also goes well. So Cam also goes to the laneways in Melbourne to get his small pumpkin spice macchiato from a Instagram page that he found. We've heard he has avocado and lemon pepper.
And he posted on Pinterest.
Yep.
Oh, there's some good shouts there. This is Marmite. I didn't used to mind Promite either. Avocado's a good shout. Could have goat cheese on there with a bit of lemon. if you really want to be. Smoked salmon or tomato slices with some salt and pepper.
Smoked salmon. That's turning into a full breakfast, isn't it?
Well, it is meant to be breakfast.
No, look, never mind. I'm not arguing.
This battle is heating up though. So I'm trying to keep half an eye on. We've got Siciliano. Siciliano. That is the
Siciliano.
correct pronunciation based on what has been entered into the driver profile. Siciliano, I think. That's what I'm going with now anyway. Because
Siciliano.
Atanyaki. Pretty pronounced David. We've got Ferguson, Scanlon, Villanueva. Nice little train here of 5 cars, all battling it out for P19. But Siciliano and Atanyake both have a 15-second time penalty. So Ferguson's in the box seat here.
So, sorry to interrupt. There are some sad news coming through the chat right now. O'Donnell, retirement due to wheelbase.
What about RH Gaming, mate? What about RH Gaming?
Also, well, the first message that came through from Juzzy was O'Donnell, so I was going down the list. If you just hold on a second there, mate.
O'Donnell
Regan,
was,
we spotted that on that second safety car restart. Or was it the third? I think it was the last restart.
Second. Oh, first. No, first. Definitely first, because the second one
first,
started because of the kind of the...
Yeah, so...
What happened, Regan?
Suspected.
Oh,
It didn't want to do the thing anymore, as we see Scanlon have a bit of an adventure there at turn 5. So his quick release, his Fanatec quick release broke. Interesting. And he had a power outage too. Wow.
He was too fired up.
Put that on the bingo list. Got to stop going to the gym, obviously. Welcome in, George Fowler. I hope your day at work was alright. You have a good 55 minutes to watch back tonight, that's for sure.
We're just watching here what happened to Simon. He actually ran into the back of the car ahead. Just got caught under brakes.
Oh. And he took a weird left turn off the back of that car. Some of those funky ACC physics.
4.5 minutes to go. The top 5 seem pretty consolidated. There's been no moves up the top of the list. This is the best battle that we've been watching.
Who has moved up the most positions?
McConnell.
Green's got to be up there. Green, McConnell, Tyquin. Young's got a long way to go in this race. He's got to do 818 laps, so...
Everyone else has to do that many laps.
Yeah, Green's come up from 30th to 12th, so I'd say that's probably about the biggest.
Has he got his DD wheel yet?
No.
I'm going to say no based on those inputs.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's the only package out of all the Fanatec packages that hasn't arrived yet.
Fingers crossed it arrives in the near future for him. Who else are we watching? Tyquin from dead last. Great race here. He's got a big chance to gain a couple more spots. Stimson ahead has a 10-second penalty. Sabiris is right in front of him. So there's 5-second penalty for causation lap 29 for Scanlon. As these guys get really close.
See, this is the most interesting part of the race too, because everyone's tyres have probably fallen off by now, and you're trying to make those moves to get the most points you can, and you just got to make sure you kind of have that car under control. Look at this Audi get that really good tow down into turn 1 here. Who is going to be the last of the late breakers? Wow, I said that wrong again, didn't I?
I think you
No,
said it
last.
right.
No, I said it right.
Oh,
he's gonna lose
Sabiris
out.
lost out twice.
Sabiris, almost 2.
Definitely get the second here, because inside line there for Tyquin. It's the place you want to be for this corner. Then you want to drift out to the outside apex, cover him off, and yeah, he's got the move done. Some great racing here.
It's funny. I got upset at myself before I even finished saying it, and I said it right. Overthinking in a nutshell.
The best of us do it, mate. So that battle's kind of died down a little bit. There's another one up ahead of Van Vliet.
We haven't seen any track limits drive-throughs, have
So
we?
many Porsches in this split. Less than 2 minutes to go. You'd hate to get a track limit warning now. Or, sorry, a track limit penalty now with the DT. Andrew O'Hara could probably do with one. Probably still win.
I don't know what a drive-through costs you here. What, 38 seconds?
Oh, it'd be a little bit less than that. A little bit less.
Well, if it's 68 with a 30-second stop.
Yeah, but to get to the box
Oh, yeah.
and get out of the box to speed is still a few more seconds as well. Plus, if you're me and you're doing your pit stop, pit stop generally takes about 20 more seconds, it seems like. I've never nailed it in this game. So, where's O'Hara's car? Car 23, we're looking for the track map.
He is.
Come around the
Coming
final
around
corner.
the last corner. Jinx.
So, penultimate lap now. Drive through is about 30 seconds. Yeah, that's fair.
Probably on the longer side of the pit lane than ACC, I'd say.
It's probably not just the pit lane, it's the fact that the fastest part of the track's that huge big straight that you're losing all that time not going full beans. Some tracks where it's a shorter straight on the pit. Will we see some more overtakes for this final lap of the race? We've got Split Red coming up. The redemption race for Split Red. Last week, an absolute disaster.
Redemption?
Redemption, yeah, that's what I was going for. There was no Glenn Germain's call on Andrew, but...
I hope someone clipped that and sent it to Andy. If not, I'm going to have to go back and do it. He will laugh his head off.
Did you just curse him 20 minutes? I'm hoping so, because I'm not commentating the next split.
I got you. Wait, aren't you?
No. Just gonna jump in the one. Just say hello to you two, gentlemen.
Well, you know, it's been fun. Oh, Cam's already over it. That's hilarious.
Yes, been informed.
He's probably watched it already.
Anyway, Andrew O'Hara, Reliant Robin Racing, going to pick up another win here, this time at Barcelona in the Fez. On crack.
Great stuff, mate.
Jean-Pierre Senecas.
2 seconds. 22 seconds. That's a hell of an effort there.
It certainly is. So JP is going to pick up P2 in the Bentley. And Matthew Lamb in the McLaren are going to pick up P3. So that's the podium in the pro class. Some great racing. It took a little bit to get this race underway. But after that, it was pretty dumbed down, which is good.
Michael Young for his last finish in Pro-Am as he gets that promotion. Henderson's going to lose out a fair bit here. Might even get him out of that. Yeah. I think, as Van Vliet as absolute tank slapper. But Henderson is going to drop out of that top 10, I think.
Nope.
Isn't he? Oh no, 15 to Harding.
He's going to hold on to 6th.
I'm absolutely incorrect.
0.123. Looks like we've lost 3 or 4 cars since the start. O'Donnell and Herbert being 2 of them.
I know there is some wild weather demolishing the south coast of Australia at the moment, so probably not helping either. And as the penalty party come through the final sector for the last time. Pretty good race. Like all in all, I guess.
Yeah, I'm happy with that one. A little bit ugly early. So after the splits tonight, we're going to jump into Discord, as I was saying before. Dissect a few things. If you have questions or a clip to show, we'll go over it. And we're early. We've got 9 minutes before the next split.
As someone didn't cross the line and went into the pits. Is that Spidey?
Nah, that's someone else. They've already done the lap. Got the checker flag ding next to them. So 35 and 36 are just going around doing a parade lap. And good on them. Piper and Rodder. Once this session kicks over, we'll look at the final results. Then we might go grab some cereal. Rice Bubbles. Rice Bubbles Cam. Rice Bubbles Cam. Congratulations, Benjamin Piper. P1. Great win there.
Just teleport, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Oh.
Snap, snapperoo.
Snappy.
So, there we go. Go through them, Paddy.
Overall, we had... Oh, well, never mind.
Now go through them, Paddy.
We had Andrew O'Hara taking out the win, Jean-Pierre taking out P2, and Matthew Lamb rounding off the podium. Michael Young taking his final victory in the Pro-Am class, followed by Mark Van Vliet and Ben McConnell taking 3rd position in Pro-Am. Good result there. And Neil Wood, Paul Vernon, and I'm going to say David Mason taking out the 3rd position there.
Who was your driver of the day? Can't give it to the race winner either. For me, I'm going to say Dylan Tyquin.
I'm going to say Nick Rodder for going straight through that Lamborghini on his debut here. That was a sight to see. That might be part of the Lawn Tells L of the Week, if that ever takes off.
I think, geez, I would have given it to Dan O'Donnell, but he didn't make it to the finish, but he'd still be my driver of the day for that fight back.
Ryan Green, actually. A real answer of mine, Ryan Green. That's a good effort. From P20 something.
So Greeny's come from 30th, Tyquin from 35th. And they finished...
Stuff.
Where are they? Yeah, 13th and 14th respectively. Didn't Tyquin cause the first safety car?
Holy... Sorry.
Don't think so. That was Henderson.
Yeah, that was Henderson.
Similar, same car, Porsche, similar paint job. It was a bit of it was an innocuous incident. Like, it wasn't huge in it, but it was everything else that happened afterwards that kind of thrusted the safety car out. Yeah, exactly.
If I drop out anytime soon, guys, just know that there's a lot of lightning going on over my house right now.
No dramas. Safety car was okay tonight, and Michael Young only completed 33 laps of the 818 laps that he was meant to do. So I think he might be disqualified. Bender unimpressed by lack of wetness.
Tell us something new.
I actually worry about that, man.
You can go to the doctor for that kind of thing.
Imagine, we can't even think.
No.
Doesn't the weather come in quite quickly here at Spain, though, in real life? So you never know. Because there's lots of mountains over the back of that turn.
It was... Split Red have had to... Let's go here. So this is at Split Red now. They're just in free practice, about 5 minutes until they kick off qualifying. The first 2 rounds of Split Red were wet. And last week was... Yeah.
Look at that Mac you are in the pit lane there. Or Jaglarin.
And in the first pit bay.
Almost looks like a drag car. Super long.
You're a
Like
fan?
a shovel on the front. I
You're a
like it.
You like it?
It's got that Need for Speed style wing.
Just looking back over these donations. Many thanks again tonight. It's 20 from Dan Murphy, 20 from JC. Hopefully this thing shows them all. Meetings 20, Janice 20, Linton then ups it to 30.99. Dan Murphy stumps it with a 31.0. This is like racing times, and then Benjamin's gone 32. With 2 very naughty emojis.
Pineapple and pizza from memory.
Yes. Hey Peach. Are you in chat yet?
So,
G'day JP, how are we, sir?
Good evening, gentlemen. Very well, thanks yourself.
Fan bloody taxi. Congratulations on P2. I was too busy looking at something else. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like it's first in class when Andy is in the race, so I'll take it as a first in class for that.
Yeah, you may get a blood test for that result.
we'll have to have a look at your Motec data first, mate. But great stuff, obviously. You maximise the points in the situation.
The pots or the pits?
What? The points? Did I say
Oh,
points?
the points. Sorry, I heard
Am
pots.
I right?
I heard pots.
Well, are
You
you a
can maxi-
gardener? By
you can,
chance? No.
you can maximise the puts.
Yeah, no, that was I think the 2 guys, Lamb and Kitching, got involved in a little bit of a battle coming out of the pits, and that helped me with the overcut. So yeah, worked out nicely. And yeah, I think we're in for quite a good race here. Quite a few guys that I've seen in the practice races that have some super fast pace. So I think we'll be in for a fun race to watch.
Also welcoming Sean Bubb now. How are we, sir?
Very good, thank you. How are we, guys?
Fantastic.
Pretty good.
How are we all enjoying Barcelona tonight?
Oh, super clean. Super clean. If you compare it to
Well,
Zolder, probably the
I
cleanest thing I've
mean,
seen.
It took
We've had
the
2 safety
record-
cars and it's still better than Zolder.
It took the record for sprint races, not for super sprints. So, you know, there was a lot of stuff to unpackage. As Nick has hopped into chat, we did kind of analyse that whole, excuse my French, it's a bit of a situation, that first lap turn 9. But, you know, those things happen and we learn from it, so as long as you can turn it into a learning experience, there's absolutely nothing anyone has against you. Welcome to the penalty points party.
Worst had call of the night there by Glenn Germain, who's going to be having to answer questions from Andrew O'Hara later. So,
Has anyone posted that?
Going
If you
into
check out,
hiding.
check out the video clips section of the Discord.
Thanks for your time, Glenn. I might come and hide
made
into
an
this.
I'm
absolute-
signing off.
Absolute banger.
I'll catch you later, boys.
Appreciate you tonight, Glenn. Absolutely
Glenn.
amazing stuff, mate. See you next week.
See ya.
That's awesome, mate. Done. I'm going to go back to the broadcast booth and press a few buttons. So have a great call, gents.
Yeah, Neil. Thanks, mate.
Have fun with that, mate.
Cheers, guys.
They say they might be forwarding the session very soon.
But yeah, that was a doozy, that's for sure.
I was gonna say, find your words, Paddy. It's okay. Take your time.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to read Cameron's comment at the same time as speaking. That reading and speaking for me, apparently two things that don't work in my brain at the same time.
So,
don't worry.
Patrick, you're influencing the vocabulary of Australia as a whole. Do you feel good about that? Or?
Basically, yeah, I'm creating terms that people are now going to take into the workplace. So if there are any issues, Cam's partner at work, feel free to get them to email me at mullick@octaneonlineracing.com.au.
You gonna put a PO box attached to that as well, or?
Yeah, it's holy lightning. Sorry.
Yeah, the storm here in Melbourne is quite severe. So unfortunately, I think if Paddy and I both drop at the same time, Peach, you'll have to take the
Yep.
reins. But until then, we should be fine.
That's fine by me. I'll
Sounds like something you
I'll
can do.
take your stunned silence as the confirmation that you are gone.
Yes, Melbourne is going through one hell of a storm thanks to Adelaide weather. But it's definitely not like the weather we're seeing on track right now. A lovely 22 degrees ambient with 28 track.
Wind
We
watch though.
see an insane number 41. Like I think Andy got a 41.8 quality time.
9, I think, wasn't it?
Oh,
On
just
full
a 9.
field,
Okay, well.
Just
Well, look, no one else has done it for you on the hot lap server, and this man's doing it in qualifying. So
Yeah.
you
Well,
know that's just ridiculous.
When his race pace is 5/10 quicker than my qualifying PB, it's a little bit disheartening. He's just in a class of his own, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, and he just makes it look so effortless, but goes to show if you put the time in and you have the skill, that's what you can do. As we begin qualifying here, I don't think anyone has a hot lap, but Samwise is going to be our first hot lap of the night from Latex Manufacturers. Something we kind of went over in the last split was judging people's team names, so maybe during the middle of the race we can do that again.
I'm not very familiar with a lot of the team names, so this would be a bit of a fun game to play, so to speak. I'm down.
Who was it? Was it Tyquin? Had his name was Blokes on Blokes. Didn't mind that one. It was a crack up. There was Racing from Stu Matthews, I believe. That's a good one.
I think Michael Young is I'm Trying, something like that, if
Yep.
I remember correctly.
And it paid off because I believe he got a promotion.
Well,
Today?
seeing as he's leading the championship, I think it's only fair.
Well, I don't think Mullick even knew that until I mentioned it as we started. But that's a good thing. I'm going to bring up the standings.
As we are on board with Holmes, who is leading this split at the moment. In all classes, with 1 win and 3 podiums so far this season, and 5 top 10s in, I believe, 5 races, which is pretty good consistency.
Yeah, I remember he did really well at Kyalami in both the Super Sprints. I think he got a P1 and a P2, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure what he did at Bathurst, but I feel, once again, it was a fairly high result. So, man has put some effort in and is definitely showing on the track.
But he does have 2 Lexi within striking distance of him. Like, only 2 points apart are Floyd and Sweet. So, this is going to be an important round to try and maximise that. Hopefully can put in a good race.
And then in the Pro-Ams, we have Mr. Hayden McLaren on these drivers, Biga, or Matthew Pignata, and Mr. Clark, who is with Odyssey Racing, if I'm not mistaken. And when you're looking at AMs, you have our very own rain god, Bender David McNulty, Tom Sandisi Sanderson, second, and Kovacs Racing, Gary Philpott in third.
Very good, and we see the first quality laps coming over the line now. Holmes is the fastest on track at the moment, only just managing to outpace the McLaren of Gibbons by 1.5 tenths. So we're going to look for some spicy times by the end of this quali, I'm sure.
Yeah, you have to think that 42.8 is a pretty freaking solid banker to work from.
I don't know about you, but I can't go that fast even when I'm trying. So
Nope,
yeah,
same,
things
exactly.
Yeah, I've never seen it on the Delta either. That's just a number that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be seeing any of those times anytime soon, but that's okay.
It'll be.
Sorry, you go, Paddy.
I was going to say it'll be interesting to see what kind of mix of pro-ams we might see in these top 10 at the start of the race. We had, I think, Michael Young was the only pro-am to qualify in the top 10, but then a big chunk of them in a line, so might be interesting to see what kind of practice we've done.
We do see there that you got Meddings and James sitting in P5 and 6 currently, and they're in the pro-am, so that's some spicy times from those boys at the moment. We'll see if they can hold on to it with the remaining 7 minutes of quali. Or it'll be a quite tight field across the board, to be honest, because as we've seen over the last few weeks, the gaps between P1 right through the field are getting closer and closer. Everyone's putting in mega efforts to get that pace on the board.
Yeah, we saw...
Sorry, but no, Gibbons coming out of the second last corner, 2.5 tenths up, which will put him in provisional pole. Samwise yet to improve. So Janice just downed a shot of tequila in celebration.
Oof. I wish. But talking about those gaps, it's actually incredible. After Andy, from P2 to P20, they were all within, I think, a second or a second and a half. So
yeah, P2 to P4 was within a tenth of each other as well. All three of us were. So yeah, I think we'll see some major improvements in terms of times here, because yeah, we're seeing a lot of low 44s, high 43s, and I'll be very surprised if the at least top 10, top 12 isn't in the 43s or below.
Yeah, some very competitive splits all round.
Here's a shout out, boys. I don't know about how you feel about Barcelona, but personally, I thoroughly enjoy this track. Is this a love-hate relationship for any of you with this track, or you like it, you don't like it? How do you feel?
I think my little brain just struggles with the tyre wear. I think that's the only issue I have here. I think it does it like no other track, from memory.
Zandvoort, once a word.
Haven't raced there before.
Okay. Personally, I despise hot lapping here, but I love racing here. It's a fun track to race on. It creates some good racing, but it's such a crap, boring track to just hot lap.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, it's the complete opposite of Zolder. I love hot lapping Zolder, but I hate racing on Zolder because it's so tight. But this makes for some good racing. Hard to overtake in the Bentley, unfortunately, with the lack of straight line speed.
Maybe that was part of the plan of OOR, give them that real tight track, and then we'll flip the coin and go the complete opposite, that wide track but boring. But who knows? I thoroughly enjoy this. Sector 3 is, as most people would probably agree, not the greatest, but if you do manage to sync it together, it does feel amazing.
Well,
I do. Sorry.
I was gonna say, saying I agree with the Zolder being fun to hot lap, not so fun to race, and then this track kind of the other way. But then we go to somewhere like Silverstone where there's so much track and it's actually not too bad to hot lap. So
yeah, I enjoy hot lapping Silverstone, and it's fun to race there. I've never had good luck in terms of racing there. Haven't had good results, but it's a great track to race on, as we see John with no idea. Sorry. He did a 43, I'd say 4 to put him P6. Yep. As Gibbons is still in provisional pole, and it seems as though nobody's really challenging that at the moment. You would imagine Holmes could certainly improve on his banker.
And no Corey Sweet tonight, I don't think. Is he racing?
I haven't seen him on the board just yet. But not sure whether he
Yeah.
may have had some real life stuff come up that's caused him to unfortunately not make the event. As we can see now, still in the top 10 or top 8 at least, according to what I can see. We still have 2 pro-ams, and I think in 10th we actually have an am in terms of qualifying pace. Can't quite see that at the moment, but that is some great performances from those guys in those classes.
So does anybody have a realistic breakdown of what is the strong and weak cars? Yeah, I know the BOP plays a role in every track, but
Realistically, I think it from the bottom up, it would be something like the BMW and the Honda are probably on par as the worst few cars here, and then maybe, despite popular belief, it would probably be 3 or 4 cars like maybe the Aston, the Ferrari, or maybe the Mercedes, and then stuff like the Audi, Porsche, Bentley, McLaren,
I'm going to go
Lamborghini
with
are probably all pretty strong.
going to go join Cam here in agreement that the strong car is the one that Andy's definitely driving, and the weak one is the one that I'm in. So yeah, can confirm, going to go the Cam strategy.
But I dare say McLaren number 1. But yeah, I think it's probably a tight BOP as they race here in real life. So it's probably kind of close apart from the McLaren. But the other two, the obvious 2 weak cars, the Honda and BMW, from what I know.
because it's quite an interesting mix in terms of the hot lap times as well. You have you have Andy and the Ferrari, which doesn't really make the Ferrari fast, but
Anomaly.
there is still Ryan Duong is still there in the Ferrari, and a couple of McLarens, a couple of Porsches, a couple of Audis, a couple of boats. So it's a fair old mix of
Oh, there you go.
cars.
Race
So
control has
best
put it up for us.
2 McLaren, Porsche, and then average, and then Nissan. I totally forgot about Nissan, but yeah, it's in that Mercedes, Aston, and then is Lexus really that bad here? Is it?
I would have thought the Lexus had a little bit higher than that.
I think it's also an anomaly as well, as it doesn't get run or hasn't been run in real life for a while, apart from in the US. From memory.
It is an absolute rocket down the straight, so it'll help there, but I'm not sure how good it is through the sort of medium twisty bits, which is why the McLaren feels, or which I would assume makes the McLaren so good here, is just how good it is through those medium, high-speed, aero-dependent corners, same as Silverstone as well.
Despite popular belief, it is a high downforce track, even though it has one of the longest, I think the longest home straight in ACC. It is a high downforce track.
Is it longer than Paul Ricard?
Home straight. So the pit straight.
Oh, home straight. Okay, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure actually. It'd probably be just a bit shorter than maybe the Camel and Paul Ricard and the 2 Bathurst ones.
So we see Fluky Lukey here on a final lap. Be interesting to see if anybody is up. Fortunately, can we get the broadcast on the Delta one, or is it?
We have an amateur in the top 10. Now that is things you love to see, by the way.
A very recent addition to the Sprint Series as well, with Rescue, who's only in his 2nd round in the Sprint Series.
It's a very amazing performance from the bloke, indeed. See if
Says
anyone else
and
can sneak up
improves.
there.
Takes that 2nd amateur position from David McNulty by less than a 10th. Holmes has hopefully started a flyer.
Well, it looks like he's just 1/10 down at the moment, so could potentially make it up in Sector 3. Sorry to talk over you there, Paddy, but we're going to see if he can improve on his Delta. It's a decent exit out of turn 10, but he's still slightly losing time. Maybe the tyres are a little bit sketchy after pushing them first few laps. At this stage, it might not look like he's going to do much on the improving. I thought he might have proved me wrong there, but lost more time, unfortunately.
With the high tire degradation, I think this 12-minute quali is actually a bit of a doozy because you can't. It's not long enough to go out and do 2 different sessions, but it's too long to use one set of tires for the whole length. So very interesting. But a lot of cars tonight. Again, 34. So maybe I think the same as Split Blue, but good variety of cars and pace there. A question that I had at the start of last split for Malik was, do we have any qualification bans for this split?
Oh, I can have a squeeze of that potentially. Give me a moment.
Yeah, just a shout out to Bryce Meddings there in P4 in Pro Am. Brilliant qualifying by him.
Right.
And Pignata, another Pro Am in P5, I think. So
Also, can confirm it is Pinata, not even a joke. No joking. It is Pinata. I was told after Kailami the right way to say that surname.
but I thought it was our jobs to butcher it.
No, that's out my job as an Australian. So I'm getting rid of that stigma. But yeah, as you said, good to see a sprinkle of other classes in that top 10, and even great job from Rizkio and P9 there. I think that's the highest qualifying amateur we've seen this round. Okay, so Cameron Farmer has informed me car 777 and car 9 had quali bans, so that I don't know who those 2 cars are.
I think 7-7 is Yudhishthira.
It would appear that Bryce has got his personal fan club, starting with George in chat there.
Fellow
Just a
McLaren Prime driver. Sorry.
shout out to Janice as well with Callum on pole. So I think she's had another shot of tequila. She's having a party tonight, that's for sure. If he continues this way, I think Samwise will give him a good old race into turn 1. But this should be a fun race between the 2 of them.
Definitely. And that's Callum Gibbons' first pole this season, so good to see. And I think a stat for this split is no driver has had 2 poles. So very interesting there.
It's going to come down to who has the legs on the start between the Audi versus McLaren. Not sure which one has the lower greater top speed gain. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm saying that the wrong way. Words are hard.
I think they're both quite evenly matched. The McLaren is super fast around this track, BOP was. So I think it'll just be who can get off the line the best. But I think defending the inside is the way to go. So you get that inside run into 3 and 4. That's for sure.
The storm here in Melbourne is definitely spiced up, so if we do drop, we'll know why, and JP will be the best he can and take over.
Safety car's almost put it in the dirt.
Oh, safety car. Remember, tyres are cold, your brakes are cold. You didn't
Been on
quali.
the tins.
Jag tings.
He's been on the tins.
As we're on the outlap and there's not a lot of action going, just the driver's spotlight maybe. If we can look at Mr. Jamie Conboy, not to be confused with Cornboy, who he is. Says he picked his car this season because he loves Lando Norris, which is, I guess, a fair shout. Favorite circuit on ACC, Bathurst to drive, Paul Ricard to race, which is an interesting combination. The 2 most diametrically opposed tracks, I would say. What is your favorite circuit of all time? Is Sandown, which is a popular Australian track. First racing game he played was Mario Kart. And his racing idols is the legendary Flying Finn Mika Hakkinen and Lando Norris. And he is on a CSLDD racing wheel, one of the new ones, one of the lucky ones, the McLaren GT3 and Club Sport V3 pedals. And we'll hand it over to Pat or Noski, I guess,
Sure.
for the start.
I
Yeah,
mean,
go,
I
Paddy.
caused 2 safety cars that last race, but if you guys want me to do it, I will go one more time.
Yeah, go
As
one more. I've caused safety cars many times.
We go beautiful 2x2 all the way down as Gibbons leads home to the green, as there is already a car with the dirt at the back there. That is fabulous. Not fabulous for them, sorry. As we go 4 wide in the middle there, they create a flying V as there is Alexei looking down the inside. Samwise has the better run already into turn 1, but Gibbons is going to be the last of the late breakers as he gets stuck on the outside here a little bit. He's going to get spun. No, that is so much sadness. Oh, no. That is
What have you done, Paddy? What have
that
you
is
done?
the definition of a car park, but I think we might still be going here. We are still green. Wowie, wow. That is so very unfortunate there from Callum Gibbons. Such a sad result. But 59 minutes to go. Let's see where that man can put himself, as there are 2 more cars around there and they are still 2 wide most of the field. Dear oh dear. This is heart-wrenching stuff. As Samwise is just away. So I dare say there may be a naughty paddling there, but we will let the stewards deal with that. As we are watching David Bartlett from Convicts and Colonials, come up to turn 9 for the first time. This is where we saw the big sad last split, so seems like everyone may have learned, as there's a Mercedes that just absolutely collects 2 cars. I have lied. I said they learnt. That's a big lie. It looks like we're getting a safety car. So, wow. Woo.
Paddy, just calm down, mate. All right, we didn't need that much hostility. Enough.
Okay, I'm not allowed to do race starts at Barcelona anymore. That is 4 from 4 safety cars from my calls here. It's been nice.
Did that Mercedes remember that there was a left turn there, or
That is what we officially call the Nick Rodder line, if I'm not mistaken.
so Nick Rodder has joined Sprint Series for the first time today, and he already has a thing, which is good going.
Now,
And Riskio, the AM, has made it up to P7, so he survived the dangers. But it does seem as though Bender may have been involved in some of the dramas.
yeah, I was going to say, can we get a heart rate check on Bryce Meddings right now? He is up to P2. He's had an absolute rip snorter of a start, followed by Matthew Pinata. Where can these guys put themselves after the next probably 50-odd minutes of racing? As we come to the replay, I want to know what happened all the way down the back there. That car was in the dirt as soon as it went green. Flying V formation. Gibbons just trying to protect that inside. Goes a little bit deep, and we talked about this in the first race. If you're too shallow, your exit is so compromised. Gets a little bit squirrely off that curb, and it's I don't think there was contact there.
No, I think that was no. There may have been a little tap
It
as
bounced, yeah.
yeah, Gibbons bounced his tail just in front of him, and it looked like he just
I
lightly,
think that's
yeah,
a bit
little bit of a tap. I mean,
I don't think
is
there's
that
anything he could have done.
it'll be hard on Samwise that, because I mean he was following his line and the tail end just slipped out in front of him.
A tap is a tap, but
I have
that's all
returned.
right. But can you blame a car in an accelerating zone for a car bouncing into your path? I don't know. We'll let the stewards handle that. They're a great volunteering team, and I'm not going to do any more speculating because that's not my job. As Samwise leads us back to the green, I'll see if I can go 5 for 5. Praying I can't. Praying
hope
they
you
can
don't, but
take
good
it
luck.
away. But Samwise is going to give us his best Valtteri Bottas impersonation and goes. Bryce, no slouch. He's right there with him, almost. Not really, but
You didn't exactly leave him sleeping, but you've got a little bit of gun.
Bit cleaner than one of the split blue restarts.
Oh, there's a car off in the sand at the exit of the last corner by the look of it. Don't know what that's about, but I saw it in the
action
distance.
already. That's very shallow from that Bentley. We've seen that line. It's not always viable, but 2x2, that is Michael Pickford up the inside of Rizko. Gets the job done.
Rizzo might have a look at into turn 4 here. He's got the pace. Will he go? No, he's going to look for the outside. With Picky defending the inside line there. Might lose out, but no. Status quo holds. They're going to continue on and they will fight for another corner.
It's a hard corner to go around the outside on warm tires, and it's an impossible corner to go around the outside on cold tires, unfortunately. So I think Rizzo would rather not risk it than stick in behind and consolidate where he is at the moment.
Definitely.
As we see, Sandizi has moved into the top 10 already. The other AM, Cornboy in 9th there. So it'll be interesting to see if Meddings and Piñara, sorry, can stick with Holmes up front.
Oh,
And yeah,
That
can
was
somebody
very
check on
close.
Jan in chat as well, please, if Janice is okay.
we get Jan. Jan, if you're there, can you put a message in chat, please? Put the tequila down. As there's an absolute gaggle on the back of, that is Jamie Comboy. There she is. Yep. This is one of the tough parts. Look at that absolute gaggle. They are getting towed along by this McLaren, which is not a slouch in the straight around this track, even against someone like that Honda. Just, the interesting thing about these two cars is how bad their brakes are. I just find it fascinating that a car like the McLaren can be so OP around a track like this and just have such poor braking ability.
Yeah, its brakes are not exactly fun. I had the joys of running that car last season. It was definitely quick, and I was feeling quick in it, but the brakes are just another beast altogether, unfortunately. It is one of its known weak features. Still fun to drive.
Agreed. What can be fast? The McLaren, I can't figure that freaking thing out. It's like asking me to do algebra and trigonometry while running backwards through a forest. I just can't figure it out.
Put that on the list of things that I'd love to see. That'd be just doing anything and running backwards in a forest would be quite comical, I think. I just don't hurt yourself.
I was
As a
going to say,
bearded 140 kilo man, yes, I think it would be quite comical. I'll agree.
yeah, look, I'm going to follow suit with JP here and go, yeah, that'd be comical. And knowing my luck, I'd probably break another bone like I've done 2 weeks ago.
You already got one bad elbow.
Yeah, exactly.
As Samwise Holmes beats my personal best quality in race, 43.362, fastest lap. Now,
I don't know if anybody else was experiencing the same issue, but my race pace here is only about a 10.2 off my quali pace. I don't understand if it's BOP or what it is in terms of the tires or something, but the cars just feel faster with fuel in.
Just pure skill, mate. Pure skill.
I think you're probably hyped up on G Fuel and just, I don't know, trying to get that little bit more out in your race pace. And I mean, it showed in the race. You had great pace and did all the right things. So it's
As we see the Faiz here. Oh, he missed braking, moved, and just murdered Bender, I think. Was that Bender?
that was.
Or Hermanto, sorry, that was Hermanto.
It was a
If
red
it's an
car.
Aston Martin, it's no, Bender's in
No,
that green Aston Martin, isn't he?
no, he killed a Merc, so that would be Hermanto. Sorry, I forgot Bender was in the Merc last season, not this season.
Yep.
So my mistake.
That's fine. But yeah, that was a bit of 10-pin bowling there with the rest of the split. Luckily, only got 3 pins, but I'm sure
Nara
the stewards. Ooh.
try around the outside of Meddings there. You'll have the inside for this long right-hander, but it's so hard to stick it through that little kink there.
This is a massive gaggle, being 10 minutes in the race now. I mean, into what is that? P2 through to P, what, 9-ish?
Yeah, something like that. But like this is just gonna help Samwise, and this is what we were talking about in the first race: is the strategy that comes in to all of these cars from P2 down to P9 and even P10 at the back there. If his pace is all right at the back and he starts to see people's tires falling off and his own tires fall off, it'll be interesting to see how many positions that car at the back can get by going in a little bit early. Oh, that is
I
an
think that was the
absolute
restart on off the safety car.
It
Unfortunate.
was.
So that's just a misjudgment of when they went, and so he's not gonna want to see that replay.
Just going to give a shout out to Zachary James there for his team.
Oh!
Oh,
Vicky
that's
just-
a
Talk about
burner.
Zachary
Well, that's a
James.
curse.
Take that.
No, I just need to not talk anymore. Sorry,
Michael
Zach.
Pickford did not want to hear what you had to say.
I was just going to
Please do
shout
not
out his
shout
team
out
name.
anybody else. Just want to shout out the dead
Jeez.
man who just got murdered.
I
Oh, that was-
apologize for nothing. I regret none. His team name, I got a bit of a chuckle as I looked down there, is Upshift Creek. Had a bit of
Yeah,
a giggle on
that's
that one. But unfortunately, I killed you. I apologize profusely.
Yeah, he just went up shit creek without a battle, unfortunately, after Pickford went up his creek. So,
Going back on a comment as we see a replay of maybe just a misbraking marker here from Pickford. His brake didn't work, or I don't know.
that was an
That
odd incident.
that was he came up very quickly on the back. Like, he just
Ah, he
didn't
missed the
brake.
braking.
marker.
Yeah, he missed it completely, yeah.
Yeah.
Off
But,
in no man's land, maybe. Who knows?
Diabols, I saw your question. Wouldn't the balance of the car change with high fuel? Now, in these situations, I don't think there's a major change when you're only putting in, say, like 60 litres of fuel compared to what you would run in quali, maybe like 20, 18 litres. So it is a slight change, but it's not a major change versus like a full tank, I wouldn't say. Except for something like the Porsche, which is an anomaly with how the front would lift up over the course of a stint.
So I'm getting the feeling that Bryce here is a bit of a cork in the bottle at the moment. That the
Yep.
Piñara and Sonicus and Johnson behind him probably have slightly better race pace, but as we mentioned before, it's quite a tricky old track to overtake on. So Piñara will be hoping to force a mistake out of Meddings and try and get the overtake done.
Hats off to both these boys from Pro Am sitting in P2 and P3 currently at the moment. Doing well to hold off the Pro boys. Well, pitch strategy is probably definitely going to come into play here. As you said, hard to overtake here. You really have to nail your exits and hope that the car ahead sort of has a bit of a whoopsie moment. That way you can chase them down into the next braking zone. So we'll soon find out, probably in the next 10-15 minutes, I'd say, that if they're not making mistakes, who will pull the pin first to try and get that overcut or undercut happening.
Yeah, but Bryce is in the right car to be leading this this pack at the moment. So as long as he can keep it clean in the first sector and out of that last corner, as we might see that gap.
The Lambo definitely has some pace advantage here.
Oh, he's led him the wrong way, I think.
Piñara got a great run.
Yeah.
This.
Oh, as we
no,
see.
no, no.
Oh, 9. Wowza. I don't
Okay.
know which way that is going to go. But I think they both got off a little bit scot-free there.
Yeah, they've got to be sent upstairs to the stewards. They'll have a look into that and they will deem what's necessary. But as we play on, we see your brother going now for P2.
Yeah, he'll be hoping to get a good result for a change. He's been slowly improving in terms of luck as the season has gone on. So, yeah, seems to have figured out quali today, as he didn't qualify in the bottom half of the field for a change, which must be nice for him. And I'm not allowed to say nice things about him because he's my older brother, so...
I do have a question, though, as, brotherly rivals. Why does he keep DMing me, asking to give you more penalties?
because he's my older brother. Ooh,
there is a 15 for Samwise, so the stewards have had a look at that and have made a decision. Now that is going to be spicy as to what all these maybe faster drivers behind Bryce Meddings decide to do with that penalty there. So if that gap gets out of 15 seconds, you'd think their strat choice might have been a bit too late. I don't know. What do you do? What are you guys' opinions?
Well, it's tough because, yeah, I think it was just 11 seconds, I think I saw on the side, or 12 seconds now as they come across the line. I mean, in 3 seconds, that penalty's sort of negated, isn't it? So now's the chance that you try and maybe get out of this gaggle and this fight. If you are feeling more pacey, that fresh track if possible, and actually try and bridge that gap that way. You might utilise the stop time that he's going to lose, that 15 seconds, to actually gain that P1 position. Potentially, well, you have to roll the dice. How long will your left-hand side tyres last here at Barcelona? We both, or all of us, know that they definitely get cooked coming around this track.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's the gamble that you have to take. Is you're gonna be at the end of the race. You're gonna be racing on 40-minute-old worn tires, and will the pace still be there to maybe keep it charging Samwise behind you? And as he's shown, his race pace is nothing to scoff at. So it'll be interesting.
Well, because I think just in that half a lap just then, he gained half a second on Bryce. So that he's definitely got the pace to pull out that gap in the Audi at the moment. So how many laps do you wait to make your choice?
As
Good run out of
Baez
Sorry.
gets that stop go 10 for that pink Mercedes incident that we saw on lap 1 that caused the safety car. As Meddings does a good job of defending the inside and has to do so down through the last sector.
Well, there's a bit of contact there, but play on.
He's got to really defend that inside too coming down into turn 1. He learnt what happened when you let a car around the outside, so I mean down the inside, so
yeah, problem is the Bentley doesn't really have the legs.
Yeah.
So I don't think he'll be, unless Meddings messes up his acceleration out of the final corner or out of that chicane, then that's when the Bentley stands a chance, maybe.
Looks like he's got some front damage there too, Bryce. Looks like his front splitter's got a bit of damage, so that might come into play.
Yeah, I just want to agree with Sam in chat there. The battle for P2 is definitely playing into Holmes' hands at the moment. I think from a rough memory, lap before he had a 12-second lead over Bryce. With just that one lap, he gained 2.7 seconds. He's almost at that 15-second mark as we speak.
So here's something. If you're Bryce, would it be smarter to let these two pro drivers through? If they're faster than you and you're losing lap time as Pinata squeezes that Johnson off into the sand
was
there.
That Tomboy into the sand? Johnson?
No, it was Johnson.
Was it? Yeah, it was Johnson. Is it smarter to let these faster pros through to do the quicker lap times so you can do your own lap times? At the end of the day, Bryce's battle isn't with this car, I guess, if you're thinking long term, but it's also up to him.
True, but at the moment the battle is with this car for him. On the other hand, so he's been able to keep him behind, and the risk is let him through, and there's 3-4 other cars behind you that are going to say, oh well, that I'll take a nice little bite of that, thanks. And all of a sudden you lose 5 positions where you could defend one fairly easily.
Yeah, so, tough choices, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think if I was in Bryce's shoes, unfortunately, my rear end of my car would be about 5 wide, much like he's doing here, defending into turn 1, because I would blunt that P2 position. But, we all...
Yeah, I would definitely make my car the same way I like my women, with a nice wide booty.
that's where he got the front
end. Wow,
end.
that's where that Lexus disappeared to. I was wondering what happened to Floyd, and that answers my question.
Ooh, as he goes wide into turn 6, I'm going to have a look at it here. Not quite with the Bentley.
But no, another thing we talked about is that this is just not a pass. This is not a passing opportunity whatsoever up these next 3 corners. So probably made the smart decision to just tuck in behind.
Live to fight another day.
Bentley is fairly strong there through turn 9 usually, so maybe he can get a good run, but Bryce is doing an excellent job of making that McLaren much wider than it usually is.
Maybe its big brother, the Bentley, and make it really, really wide. And he's doing a great, consistent job, but might be detrimental to the result,
As we see,
especially with that
777
damage.
get a 15-second penalty for causing a collision on lap 4.
Yeah, so Yudhishthira would be fighting from the back of the field, and he obviously would have gotten involved in something trying to make his way through, which is understandable, I guess.
Yeah, I think if I were one of these cars at the back here, I would think about pitting early as Sonicus thinks about it, tries to at least get a nose in front, but just doesn't have the legs on the straight in that Bentley.
Looked like the Bentley lost the rear end a little bit there through turn 1, unless I'm a little bit blind.
Oh no.
Oh, the slightest of kisses.
So
That was
Unfortunate.
on Cole Johnson who got spun around there.
that is a paddling, I dare say.
Diabolds, yes, the Bentley is good on tires, but I don't know. It still gets fairly affected here. Just the left front just absolutely dies of death.
I
So
think with the high tire degradation, there's not a lot you can do to stop it happening, like drastically here.
no, I
Yeah,
mean, I after the pit stop, my car felt like an absolutely new car completely, just on the fresh tires. So what happened here exactly?
I just
Oh,
broke
okay.
to the outside a little bit there, and Johnson got left in the dust.
As we see
As
Gary Philpott
Gary,
in chat who got disconnected.
that sucks, mate.
Yeah, you can thank Melbourne Thunderstorms for that one, I dare say, Gary. I had the same power issue drop out on my end as well.
And another 10-second penalty for Yudhishthira. I dare say he might be on track for another quali ban if he's
I think
gets involved in too much more.
is it a race ban next? I think. Well, it'll be impressive if you can get that before next week.
Stream has just decided to freeze.
Yeah, I thought that was my internet dying, but we're
Yeah, I
back.
thought my computer was about to blow up as well. I'm glad
I
we're
was
back.
waiting. Oh, as there were cars. Wow,
As we can confirm,
that's
25 points
interesting.
is a race ban, and every
Gotcha.
10 points is a quali ban.
Science. So that was Mullick's end. Had a little bit of a. Oh, okay.
Oh, that was a that's internet.
Yeah, that'd probably be due to the storms. I think Bryce is in Melbourne as well, unfortunately.
I think
And
that's this is Mullick. I don't know. I don't think they have that wild weather at the moment. Isn't it hot as heck where you are, Neil, from memory? So if you watch back the first race, you will hear Mullick throw his fan out the window as Bryce just goes a little bit deep once again. So this might be a sign of those tires falling off. As Samwise Holmes has a 0-second penalty. I don't know, there's something funky going on there.
yeah,
Definitely have
things are
to give
happening.
Bryce I mean, he obviously has, based on that impact he had on lap one, that's probably at least 10 seconds damage or so. And he's doing a brilliant job of keeping Sonicus behind him there. As we
Definitely.
see
As we
Samuel
see the
Lovely.
lone Audi out on its own through turn 3, just, waving to the fans. Hey, Sam, how you doing, mate? How's the track? How's the tyres?
Wait, that was a replay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sonicus into
apparently
Didn't
the
so.
look like
pits
a
there.
replay.
So Sonicus going for the undercut then. He's bored of seeing the back of Meddings' McLaren, so he'll be hoping to not come out in too much traffic.
That's science right there. See, Mullick he just big brained me playing the replay whilst getting both of the other computers back online. There you go.
And that is why he is the man of OOR, and we are not.
So theoretically, when everyone's pits come around, we should see about 5 seconds
See a yellow
to the
flag
leader.
there. It looks like Pete Viney at turn 4 on the outside. Still standing still.
we see Convoy try to have a sneak up the inside of the Lambo. Sides, no, is that a Lambo or am I blind? It is Lambo.
And that was
The blue one is
Lambo.
a Lambo, yes.
Hopefully, no sad. Oh,
Come on, ACC, show us properly. Thank you very much.
oh.
That's definitely an interesting line through turn 3.
What is that?
He's hitting all the buttons. He's in 6th gear.
Stuck in gear?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh.
That's
That's unfortunate.
so much happening tonight.
Second Team Kovacs Racing with technical difficulties. Interestingly, Pickford hasn't received a penalty yet for his absolute murder. As we see Convoy go on the inside, it's not quite alongside enough. Ignata keeps the position. Oh, as that's Bartlett behind him, who decided, nope, I'm done with this. I'm gonna have a
Another.
little bit of a spin.
So it looks like Viney is still having a bit of issues after turn 5 there. Things you hate to see.
So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on Sonicus. He's running in 22nd at the moment. Coming into the final sector, so when the other drivers decide to dive in, I mean, Samwise is pretty much irrelevant when he goes to pit, but this little gaggle here will be the deciding factor.
Drayville, like is a very... It's a loose term. They were different.
I don't think I've
They
had the
were
privilege of seeing
wheels.
these blue wheels.
I
They,
didn't
well,
see them either,
but
but
Lexus doesn't have any livery options, so like the wheels and the mirrors is like all the customization you get.
Fantastic.
So they're like, I don't know, lime green. No, lime green. They're light blue with a yellow ring as the accent on the wheels.
so like a minion almost. Ooh, Pignata and Meddings into the pits, I think there.
Yes, Meddings has made the call.
So this will be what it comes
Sauce.
down to now. Where is Sonicus on track? As he's coming to the middle sector.
It'll be close. And
You gotta remember,
does
I dare say Bryce will probably repair the damage on that McLaren.
that's what I was going to say.
I'm
It
not sure if
depends
it's
how
worth
much he
it, to be
has.
honest, because he's been able to keep the guys behind him. So would it be worth it?
This is true.
Oh, see, it's
And
a bit.
this pit lane is just freaking never ending. It feels like.
Yeah, 68 second with the 30-second stop is the delta for this pit lane.
Wow, that is insane.
So you want to be out of sector 1 almost if you're trying to keep that position on track. And I think it will be close here for Sonicus.
Yeah.
One car gets moving there, but I can't see. No, that's not one of the front runners. So Pignata and Meddings not moving yet.
Well,
There
Meddings
they
looks like
go.
he's just starting to move now.
Pignata, I think Pignata. Oh, this will be.
Yeah, Pignata's jumped him in the pits due to the damage repair, I dare say, from Bryce.
Yep, and he's
As
jumped Sonicus as well.
Sonicus
Has he?
might get him into turn 1 depending on the pace. We'll see what happens.
Nah, I don't think so.
But Sonicus will be on the warm tires. And Pignata will be hoping
Oof.
the tire warmers did a good job.
Always got the inside line for turn 3, as we notice cold tyres and not going
And
to
he gets them.
assist the Lambo.
Nice.
Things you
So
love
that
to
is
see.
Looks like the overcut has worked in advantage for Sonicus here.
undercut.
Undercut, I think.
I knew I'd get one of them wrong.
It's
I'm bound to
confusing,
do
isn't it?
It is. I try hard and then I realise I just fail, but it's okay. I get it right eventually.
Don't worry. I was yesterday years old when I figured out. So, question for me: why hasn't he teleported? I mean, maybe he can't press buttons and stuff, but it's a yellow flag on track. I don't know.
Well, it's not. Luckily, he's not impeding anybody. So I think he's maybe restarting the wheel and seeing if he can get going again. Better than teleporting to pits and then having controls locked and all those kind of nonsense. Although he will be restarting on little icicles on the wheels. As we see two Kovacs Racing Team cars here, which generally doesn't end well for one of them when two Kovacs cars are close to each other.
I'm going to talk about
No.
coloured wheels again. What's that? Gold wheels? They look like they might have some matching accents on the wheels there.
Looks that way.
Not too drastic compared to a Lexus and a Bentley we saw last split, but I'm sure Braden Ross will let you know about those because he is the captain of the livery police.
I'm assuming the Bentley you're talking about is Mason in our split, as we see Viney.
Yep.
Oh,
is
Viney's
off
up and
going
moving again. There we go.
There you go.
So he probably turned it off and on again.
Glad to see
Something's
that he's
going
got his
on.
stuff working once again. Fortunate for him having the disconnect, or the wheel disconnect potentially, but these things happen, unfortunately.
So Ben Floyd running potentially P3 or so on track, depending on how Convoy's pit stop goes, as he is in the pits at the moment. So that's a great recovery by Floyd, considering he's already done his pit stop and he's only 2 and a bit seconds behind Piñata.
As
Done well.
Nick Van Bar in chat says he also had an internet dropout. So, Adrian, so Bryce pit from P2 and it looked like he repaired some damage. So, the top 8 drivers so far haven't pit, so he should come out about P. I don't think Pickford or Convoy will get any spots. Should be about P4, 5, 6. 6.
Yeah, that's how you count numbers, Pat. Congratulations.
Yeah, sorry. My two brain
Convoy
cells.
is on for an overcut here as well, as we see Sonicus coming down. Sorry to interrupt, Pat. But,
No, that's fine. I think this is what happens when I think Bryce repaired the damage. So you're right. He has lost out kind of majorly here, I think.
It looks like he's dropped probably 3 or 4 posies due to the repair of the damage. But as we saw in quali, he was quite pacey. So with that repair now, he might be able to, head down and get those higher pace laps up and maybe get those positions back. We still have a long way to go with just over, 27 minutes remaining. So much to unfold for the last half of this race, no doubt.
Samwise is in. So where does Sonicus, where is he on track? He's coming towards turn 6. I don't know how long Samwise has been in the pits for. Probably not. I think he's in his box already, so...
Yeah, it looks like it's stationary.
be surprised if Sonicus is within 10 or 8 seconds of Samwise, to be honest, even with a penalty.
Plus the 15. Yeah, I think it'll be 5 to 10. Would be a gap.
Board with
maybe.
Johnson with a nice little three-way battle here coming into turn 10. No, we're back. Oh, is this another incident?
Viney out of the
Viney
pits.
again.
There's so much going on. But I think, yeah, this is going to go to show what kind of reward, I guess, Samwise gets for being in such clean air for so long. Like, even with that 15-second penalty and the gap that he had, just gives himself such a good advantage to come out in a place like this, and he's going to be in such clean air one more time.
As we speak.
Yep, and Sonicus just went past the start-finish line, so yeah, that's a good 8 seconds, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Samwise is already through turn 2 at the moment. Even with that penalty, he managed to close the gap up a little bit, but was it too late on that overcut? Unfortunately, we'll see if I guess has the pace to track him down for the rest of the race.
As we see that penalty.
15-second penalty, which I think is well-deserved, unfortunately.
As David Minotti enters the pits, and unfortunately his strategy has not paid off. So
We have,
Lexus.
Harvey Rockford and Leonard Scott in P1, 2 and 3. I don't think they were expecting to be running there today at any stage.
Stop the count. Stop the count.
Convoy's doing a phenomenal job here holding off Floyd at the moment. Only been 3/10 behind.
Let's see, I mentioned this in the first race and I'll mention it again. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any advantage they're probably even a disadvantage of being on tyres too much longer for those top 3 guys. Like, even if you're in clean air, I don't think your 45-minute old tyres are going to be giving you an advantage versus going in kind of soon, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think you
I don't
definitely
know.
want to be pulling the trigger on that in the next lap or two at the very most, I dare say, because I think you're losing time now per lap just
Yeah.
because those lefts will be absolutely screaming at you.
As Leonard Scott is in, so interesting to see where he comes out. Dare say second in class.
So just a shout out again to Riskio, who's the AM, and he's still running, and I think provisionally on track, probably P9, I would say, P8, somewhere around there.
P8, I think. Yeah.
Phenomenal effort.
Yeah, George, numbers aren't my strong point. It was close.
That was
35,
it.
45,
In
what's
10
the
minutes,
difference?
it's fine.
Under an
Yeah.
hour.
Just like when you say, I'm going to be there in 5 minutes. No one ever really thinks you're going to be there in 5 minutes, you know.
But we
Same
talked. That's what I
same as
heard
having
Bender
one beer.
talking about. He said, what was it, like 70% of the time, people that think they're going to do something in 5 minutes take them twice as long to do that. So you're thinking about it, and then you end up doing it, and it ends up being twice as long.
Yeah, look, I'm definitely one of those people, I can confirm.
It's science.
Yeah, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I'll guarantee half hour later I'll rock up.
I'm just having one beer, darling, and then I'll be home. Same thing.
Cam, you need to get your head out of the gutter, mate. Honestly.
Cam likes it there too much. As we're still on board with this little gaggle, there was a 5-car battle now. It's looking quite nice. Johnson's just in the middle of it all, following that Lexus down the straight, trying to see if the Macca has the legs to maybe potentially do something into turn 1. But by that angle, I would dare say you are far too far behind, good sir. And you will live to go through another lap. Ooh, I almost cursed.
Jeez, I was puckered. I think I just made a diamond. Ben Floyd has probably some Vietnam flashbacks from lap 1 there already with the McLaren, so he's actually, this is a pretty good recovery drive from him, I dare say. All the way to the back, long first stint all by himself, and now back in action.
Yeah, I think big shout out to everyone that actually can do the recovery drive, so to speak, if that's what you want to class them as. I'm trying to be better at them myself, but yeah, for the guys that do manage to get unfortunate incidents to the back of the grid and work their way through the field, my hat goes off to you for the stellar efforts that you do put in during the races.
Does it look like Riskio is ahead of Medics now? Yep, I think Medics ran a bit wide there at turn 6, which allowed Riskio to move up another spot. As we have 3 McLarens here in a row, what's the collective term for a group of McLarens?
Oof.
Like you get a
Didn't you say
grumble of
McLarens?
pugs. Yeah, but I mean, you can say pugs, but it's a grumble of pugs. So what's the collective for McLaren? Let's ask chat to make up a collective for a group of McLarens.
That's
I don't
hard.
even want to know.
It's a
Yeah.
hard word. You can't.
I was going to say, like, similar to like the murder of crows, just because I like the way that sounds like a murder of crows. But oh yeah, there's the mis-entry into turn 7, I think that is, but run slightly wide and Riskio
Yeah,
takes the posse.
6, 7, and then 8 is the ride up the hill there. But
Murder of Maccas from Stewie Matthews. That's not bad.
it doesn't seem right. Mob's better. Look at that, Bob.
Oh, sorry, that's back on.
I think that's the
It's
last
moving out of the way.
car. Getting out of the way, doing a good job there, as that has a fair whack of front end damage.
A menace of McLarens is pretty good. It's not a bad option.
A March.
I like it.
McLaren, British March.
Nah.
The march of
I'm not feeling the
McLarens.
march. The other ones are better in my opinion.
Well, if we're going with British, then a queue of McLarens.
Hmm. We'll leave that one to the chat room, I reckon. But yeah, Callum Gibbons doing a stellar job all the way to the back, and now P14 after his stop. So I think at the end of the day, he's got to be a little bit pleased that he can at least get some points on the board.
So that's still a fair points haul, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how far did he drive with the damage as well before actually doing his pit stop? I'm
I
entirely
don't think
sure
it
on
would have
that
been
one.
that big a damage, would it?
Not
He
sure.
got a pretty big hit by
I thought that was
both Meddings
Floyd.
and Floyd.
I think Samwise shoved him out of the way, and then Meddings bonked Floyd, and then
Yeah, but Floyd and Meddings were bonking together while
double
Gibbons
bonking,
was
Interesting choice of
bonk,
words there.
bonk squared.
group bonking, gang bonking.
A menage a bonk. Oh,
As
Pignata with a 5
oh,
second penalty.
so Jamie Conboy, he's got 10. So what was the other 5 for? I wonder. 15.
Oh, there you go. There we go, boys. What's a group of Jags called?
I don't know, but
Skip
surely Jeeves knows.
bins. Compost. A compost of jaguars.
Junkyard of Jaguars?
Junkyards. I'll let that one in, Phil. A bucket.
It doesn't really rhyme, Philippa, but I know. I mean, it gets the message across, I think.
I didn't think we put stated that it had to rhyme though, did it?
A
No, it doesn't
menace
have
of
to rhyme.
McLarens doesn't rhyme. But
Yeah, but at least it's the same, like a little bit of alliteration. Shag of Jags. Okay, I think that wins.
That is actually a very good one. I do enjoy that.
shadow. I mean, I guess you could call it a shadow because it's always behind every other car. Is that fair? I think that's fair.
A bit mean, but very fair. Yes.
Sorry. Straight to the point.
Just because it's mean doesn't mean you're wrong.
So it'll be interesting to see
Oh.
Floyd. Ooh, bit
Sent.
of a nice good send. The stamp was licked and the letter was sent.
I believe that might have been
Easy.
a back marker. Let's see, there's the
Nah.
line taken through here.
I think that would have been
Let
Sanderson.
green.
I think they might have been racing for position, but then he let through the 2 blue flags.
So
Yes, very cool.
A
Floyd
thread?
is only,
I don't know.
sorry, he's only 2.2 behind Convoy. Convoy 3.3 behind Pignata. So they'll be looking to try and close up that gap as much as they can to get within that 5-second penalty.
I
As
believe
we
Pinata's
cut
on
to the
15
replay.
at the moment in terms
Oh,
of
is it
penalty
15?
time.
Yeah, 15, yep. Oh! So this move was for position. Got the job done. I think that's Martin in the McLaren. That's not a McLaren, that's a Bentley. Close.
Yep.
Close.
Newest member of Team Kovacs as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, welcome to Kovacs.
Oh, so Pignata's on 15 seconds, so he's... Oh, that's not
Johnson
ideal.
has
He'll be
been.
dropping.
Sorry,
Nine?
Pete.
I mean, he'll be dropping, yeah,
Eighth.
to the
I think.
rear end of the top 10. As Martin gets out of the way rather dramatically.
Johnson's been staring at the back of this Lexus for some laps now, trying to
Gotta
find
stand that-
where
Ooh.
he can potentially make a move.
Floyd's
Hasn't
got to
found
be
a way through
careful.
yet.
Got to be careful with those. Bit of a zig and then a zag. I think you can only zig once. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I believe you can zig, but no zag.
Yeah.
If you zig fairly early in the straight there and do a progressive zag
Yeah,
towards the end of
agreed.
the straight, then it's okay as well.
Yeah. Just saying, got to be careful. Octane Online Racing.
Ooh. So, yep. It's such a hard corner to overtake there as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that's the line you want around there, Floyd, but it was good to make the effort.
So marbles. Wait,
I'll be right back.
I'm confused. Look, doesn't matter. But yeah, I think a key overtaking opportunities are turn 1, turn 4, turn 9, the hairpin.
I thought the hairpin was 10. I could be wrong.
I think. Oh, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn 9, the hairpin.
Track map has lied to me. No, there you go.
What?
Turn 10.
Oh, turn.
There you go.
I didn't think 6. I didn't think that 6th corner was a corner. I thought that was just a kink.
Yeah, but
I
the
thought
kink
6
is
was the.
counted at Kyalami as well, remember? And I said that it
I'm
wasn't
just-
a turn, and then I got roasted for it.
Yeah, I just never counted that little scoot as a corner. Never mind. I've been wrong before. No kink shaming in this league. But see, look at that Lexus. It's got the legs down the straight, even with that McLaren, which is no slouch on the straights in this map. I called it a map again. That's the second time.
You've done well, Paddy.
Called it a
You're
map.
struggling. Are you
Wow.
okay? Do you need water?
I need Jesus.
Oh, he's going to go for around
Whoa.
the outside. Does he have the legs? That's unfortunately,
No.
might be a track warning. Not sure whether you can get one there or not, but that was definitely all 4 wheels over the white line.
Yep, we didn't see one track limits drive through last split, so
No,
looking
Split Blue
awfully
was well behaved in that regard.
spick and span right now. Am I going to curse someone important? I hope not.
No, only I've done the murderous curse this round.
The instantaneous murder.
The instantaneous.
Look, I was just trying to bring
You
the
heard of
essence
2-minute
Mulligan,
noodles.
alright?
Well, I am. What am I? 4 from 4 with safety cars or something in Barcelona. So
Yeah, I
I'm
was
good.
just embracing the inner Mullick, just trying to, let everyone know that he's still here in essence. And I murdered a
Always.
car.
Well, yeah, you'll get a stern DM from Ogold, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon there's one coming if he watches it back. Yeah, unfortunately, probably well deserved on my end.
It was like the instant that you mentioned it that he died.
Look, it was impressive, I must admit. Try again
As
next time.
Anthony Munoz, let's call it Munoz, it sounds better. Gets a 15-second penalty there for a collision, so it's not going to help, that's for sure.
One of the drivers who arrived with a quali ban this week, so we're trying to keep that to a minimum. Just to point out, Rizkio is just behind Johnson here, and he's looking very interested in joining this little battle that Floyd and Johnson are having here.
Well, he is in that 15-second range too to Pinata, so that's going to help a little bit too to get a couple of extra bonus points.
Yeah, I think unfortunately it's going to drop Pinata down to about 10-ish, if math is correct, but numbers are hard this late at night. No, not that far. Maybe down to 8 he might drop.
I think 8th.
Yeah, the gap to Wafik Pinata is pretty big there to Meetings, so yeah, it seems right.
JP, you and Paddy as well, I don't know if you got stuck behind the Lexus here. Where is the Lexus weak, do you think, in regards here? Where do you reckon Floyd might try and make his move?
I think, according to watching Philippa and Jake Baldwin practice throughout last week, I think the slower speed stuff is really the Lexi's downfall. So I dare say from the hairpin through the last sector is where you're going to see these cars close these gaps.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's not particularly good through that final sector, but it's good enough through the final corner to not be too much at risk down the home straight, and it's a bullet down the straight. So
I was just looking on there. It is absolutely phenomenal in straight line. Holy crap! It just pulled a few car lengths on the McLaren there, and the McLaren is no slouch either.
Octane Online Racing. Oh, wow. Oh wow! Can you? Is that also a fine amount of zigging and zagging? Because they were quite close together. I just want to.
That seems
It's
fine. It wasn't
interesting.
didn't cut anybody off or anything. It
I
was
think it was fine.
a zig and a zag, and that was it. You know, there was no second zig. So
That was a fine amount of zigging and zagging. I assume as long as he doesn't then go back to the inside, that's where you draw the line of swerving to cut the toe.
yeah, from the way I understand it is you're allowed to move off your line and then cover the line again, but not while the other car moves into that position. So I think it's fine with the little gap they have. It should be fine.
There are some parts of the rules that my little two brain cells just don't understand sometimes.
I think it's where you put into like the common sense or some racecraft is like, you know, a little bit of moving's okay, but when it starts getting that little bit too much, you go, yeah, all right. I'm sure if it's too much of an issue, the our lovely stewards at OOR here will definitely consider looking into it further.
As we see Callum Gibbons up into P13 as the McLaren absolutely boops the snoot of Floyd, and he's going to lose out mega there. That is so unfortunate. I think, who was that? Johnson is going to get a paddle in for that one, I dare say.
That's gonna move Riskio into the top 5
And he's
because
right
that's
there.
a certain penalty.
4 McLarens in a row.
No!
No! No!
And
My
welcome,
bad.
JP.
God damn it,
Instant curse.
JP!
my bad. My bad.
Welcome, welcome,
Wow.
welcome.
That was what it felt like to be Sean before. Gosh.
Not quite
No.
as instant as me, but not bad, not bad.
No.
Maybe the three of us need the paddle in here tonight.
You guys are terrible. Imagine talking about the race.
Commentator self-report. I just want to. That was Sorry about that, Riskio. That was not on purpose at all.
And a DM's coming your way later tonight too, mate. Don't worry about that.
That's Jean-Pierre Sonicus. I'll get it right the first time, one time.
We can just create a group chat for the curses. That's fine.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome to the team, JP.
See, I don't single anyone out. I just do the whole split.
Yeah, you just curse the race, not just the individual drivers. Yeah.
7.5 minutes to go. I dare say. Look, I'm not going to say anything. Never mind.
No, go on, continue.
I just saw what JP did. I'm going to zip my lip and just let the racing do its thing.
Come on, Paddy. One of us. One of us.
Yeah, you need to at least. I know you've cursed a bunch of races, but it's not the same feeling as just cursing a person.
This is literally what we were talking about before. How he was just
carries
a
so
bit
much speed.
slow compared. Yeah, see the pace difference there from the McLaren is just monumental. And then Jean-Pierre enters the chat.
Yeah, been talking about Riskio here for so long.
He's gonna be
and
so
unfortunate.
good.
Welcome to the team.
So Bryce Mannings, if anything, is the biggest winner out of this whole kerfuffle.
Yeah, Bryce definitely says thank you for the posies. So Bryce getting 3 posies from that.
So much. Boop. He's like, oh no, Ben, damn.
Yeah, that's bad luck. I'd like to report a murder. Please stay on the line.
Okay, here we go. I'm just going to do my thing. I'm going to follow these guys. I'm going to try and close the gap. I'm going to stay nice and close for the next lap and try get all the way up to JC. Oh, that's a boop. Never mind. Thank you for coming. See you next week. I'm out of here.
So there we go. Johnson already with a 10-second penalty for the Ben Floyd boop.
Mm-hmm. It's just one of those tricky braking zones where your tires will be peaking and you're downhill off camber almost for the left, so just got to be nice and careful in traffic there, that's for sure.
And as we were discussing, the Lexus being a little bit weaker through there as well, it's possible for the McLaren just to carry more speed maybe in there, and he maybe just slightly misjudged it, you know. So and Riskio as well with a 15-second penalty, so that could potentially drop him out of the top 10, but it'll be fairly close.
Given Kubo's doing well here, back up to 13th at the moment, looking very pacey against the Honda ahead of him of James. I did curse James last time I started doing this, so
I was going to say shout out to Gold there, Zachary James up in P12.
James is doing a shit job at the moment. Let's just see if there's a can we get a reverse curse? Is that a thing or?
I'm not sure whether that is actually a thing, but we can try.
That's just commentating, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
He's done a good job in terms of recovering after Sean murdered him.
Yeah, look, I still don't really apologise for that. I mean, it's unfortunate, but, you know, welcome to the team.
I'm sure he'll hear about it. But, like, can you tell what manufacturer is preferable around this place? I can't.
Look, there might be some similarities in the top 10. You know, look,
there's only 5 of them in the top 10.
I'm not biased or anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Honda, for being one of the worst cars, is showing up right now, aren't they, with Charles Clark and Zachary James? So they are in a McLaren sandwich.
Sorry, Janice, I will not call names out anymore under the fear of permanent cursing.
I think Andy O'Hara might say the BMW is good around here, Hooley.
Yeah, but again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You can put O'Hara in a wheelbarrow and he'll be top 3 anyway. So his opinion on cars is pretty much irrelevant in terms of how good they are or not. Because, yeah.
If it's a Holden, he'll agree. He's a Holden man.
He's Holden a man?
No, he's a Holden man.
Okay. Sorry, apologies.
I don't know if do you have Holden in Thailand or is it Vauxhall?
None really, to be honest.
Oh.
It's,
they're far too big of cars for Thailand.
Yeah, they're not really. So I've seen one of my friends actually owns a Holden here, like a 19. I think it's a 92 Holden YL or something. I can't
YZ or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's ugly as hell, so I don't know.
They're very
Ugly.
You either love them or you hate them. I'll be honest with most Fords and Holdens.
Yeah, there's a Honda off
O'Hara enjoy a wheelbarrow ride. Is that a euphemism, Cameron?
I'm sure you'd figure out a way to get the camber just right on the wheel and make it work.
Would you want camber on a singular wheel?
Well,
I don't think so.
It's my point is I don't know anything about setups and he does.
Or wheelbarrows. Yeah, okay, that's an interesting fact. As you said, it's too big for Thailand.
And they pull out
the most popular car is Toyota. What, do you drive a car, JP?
Yeah, I have a Ford Ranger.
Oh yeah? Not a tuk-tuk?
Yeah. I was going to say, not a tuk-tuk, yeah.
Tuk-tuks are only allowed to be sold in Bangkok, really, to be honest.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the Isuzu, the new design Isuzu is selling incredibly well.
You go four-wheel driving? Is that a thing in Thailand?
It is, but it's not a big thing really. I would love to go on some courses, but there's none really on the island where we live, so it's not really something we can get into.
Understandable. We are in the final minute. Where's Samwise on track? He is
going into turn 10.
Yeah, just into turn 10 at the moment, so he will be doing
this is the penultimate
one
lap.
more lap after this.
Penultimate lap. Anyone, your bingo cards, mark that one off.
Gibbo has a nice little look there.
I think these two guys do Formula One Legend Series, as we see a replay of that is Rizkio defending from Floyd into turn 1. Now Floyd doing the right thing there and getting as wide as he can, giving him, and he gets that odd bounce off the curb there, and he goes 3 wide through the inside. Golly gosh. Don't know how he got that done, but, you know,
has the skills to pay the bills right there. It was some fine driving. Back on Gibbons again. He's still looking at the rear of this Honda, wondering where can I find the pace to get by you, good sir.
These drivers also on their penultimate lap, coming through the last sector for the second last time. Like, obviously, Callum will be a bit upset with how the race started, but I don't think he can be upset from going from first to last back to almost in the top 10. So, got to be a little bit of a pat on the back there, that's for sure.
Yeah, for
One
sure.
hell of a recovery drive.
So easy if you get taken out on the first lap to just write off the race pretty much and say, stuff it, I'll try next time. But it's just proof if you keep it in there, you can still garner quite a good amount of points.
Yeah, I felt that last night, that's for sure.
You had a crash on the straight, didn't you?
Yeah, we tried to go 4 wide, and there was a car in the middle of the track that thought they were clear of the 2 people on his left, and shortly found out that he was not. As Samwise Holmes, our split red leader, takes the check the flag and gets his second win for the season, I believe, as he
As he
cut
tries to
some
cut the
there.
grass, yeah, down the main straight. Phenomenal performance there for Holmes. Unfortunate incident in turn 1 there, lap 1. But it just shows how much when you are in front with that clear air, you can gap the field, and even with the pen, maintain a 15-second gap over P2. So he has done a stellar effort with his pace tonight.
Shout out to John as well. That'll be his first OOR podium as well.
Oh,
So
congrats,
he'll be happy
John.
with it.
Yeah, it's a great effort there, especially with what was going on for the majority of that race. The strategy worked, obviously, for John.
And with the unfortunate penalty from Pinata, that's a Convoy on P3.
Corn Boy getting on the third step. Very nice.
Yeah, great job, JC. Well done, well deserved. And still a great result for Bryce as well. I think that might be his best.
Yeah, he must be very happy regarding that, especially after the pit stop where he's lost out quite a bit repairing the damage as we assumed. So he'll be very happy with that recovery. And yeah, Cam pointing out that's 2 Sonicus P2 at Barcelona. So guess we can't dislike the track too much anymore.
It's in the name.
So yeah, I guess we have to do the customary driver of the day, or of the split at least. And
Yep. What are your votes?
even with the incident involved, I've had to go with Riskio. I mean, AM driver sticking it in there, just absolutely not backing down from any of the pro or pro-am drivers around him. He had a fantastic
Just
race.
want to point out he missed out the top 10 by 9 thousandths of a second.
And for sure, shout out to Gibbons on just brilliant quality performance and then great recovery after an unfortunate lap 1.
There we go. We got Holmes, Sneakers, and Convoy rounding out the overall win there. With the Pro-Ams, Convoy getting the P1, P2 for Meddings, and P3 from Pinata Pro-Ams. And Riskio taking the win for the AM class, followed by Jason and Bender.
David McNulty, that's my driver of the day. But that's a great result there. P3 on the podium in the dry as well. Things you love to see. He's my driver of the day.
I'm going to give my driver of the day to actual Bryce for the contact early on and defending that train of cars with that damaged McLaren for so long. That is a stellar effort, good sir. So I'm going to give my shout out to Bryce.
And Callum Gibbons with the pole result. And I believe Samwise Holmes for, Convoy. What about him? P12's P3. Yep. Great result. JC, that's for sure. But David McNulty is still my driver of the day. That's a great result in the amateur class.
And fastest lap to Samwise, I think, in terms of the race.
I can feel Malik shaking his head.
Malik's just shaming Bender there for some reason. But oh, that's all good.
I'm a big fan, David. I'm a big fan. Love your work.
Great racing all round to this split. It was some good battles right throughout the entire thing, and some not just good ones, but like trains of battles, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars at a time. It was some phenomenal work there, guys, with minimal incidents, I believe.
Minimal is maybe a questionable comment, but
Well,
you
if
know
you
the
exclude
stewards
the
were working, that's for
cursing,
sure.
Medium.
I didn't
Medium.
curse anyone specifically. You two said names, okay? Don't you dare.
Yes, but you said it's a fairly clean, and it wasn't.
Yeah, well, that's
So,
my job. I did it myself.
you see, we're only taking out one person. You're killing the field.
Fine. 667 has to do some work, okay? But that concludes the Asia Pacific portion of this round 4. Wait, is it round 4? Yeah, it is round.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
round 4
We
at
run right.
Barcelona. So that brings us to Europe tomorrow morning, I believe, who will be hosted by Ben McConnell. And yeah, that's it. Thanks, JP and Sean, for joining me in the Covers Box tonight, and Glenn, obviously, and Mol. But with that
Pleasure,
being
mate.
said,
Anytime.
I think we will see you next week at Silverstone.
Have a good night, guys. See you later,
Yep.
chat. See you next time.
Thanks, chat. Thanks for all the donations, by the way. Appreciate everyone's support. Thanks for those who like the stream. Enjoy your Thursday.
thanks, guys. Have a good night.